The following programs were originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity, and they were recorded using a variety of means, from direct recording onto early audio tape and glass records, to simply placing the microphone of a wire recorder in front of the speakers of a radio playing the program. I hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to these, some of the all-time favorite shows.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC. Portions of the following program are transcribed.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, you know, has been famous for years for bringing you the very finest foods, quality foods, the world's favorite varieties of cheese, America's choice in salad dressings, and many other wonderful things to eat. When you shop, look for the name Kraft. Remember, the name Kraft on any food is your guarantee of quality. It's a crisp, cold night in Summerfield. Here and there, a lighted Christmas tree glows warmly in a window. Holly wreaths have begun to appear. The ground is white with new snow, and it's still falling. Big, fat flakes that cling to the porches and to the trees and to the brim of the great Gildersleeve's hat as he hurries down his front steps. Makes a cautious turn as he reaches the sidewalk. Then strides gaily up the street toward Catherine Milford's house.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. What?
Wait for me! Where you going, Unc?
Well, I'm dropping in at Miss Milford's for a while this evening.
Can I walk with you? I'm going to Piggy's house. They're putting up that tree tonight. We're going to decorate it.
Well, good. Don't stand on the furniture.
You going to help Nurse Milford decorate her tree?
Well, you can't tell. We may string a few cranberries, drape the icicles around.
What if Dr. Olson is there?
Leroy, don't worry about Dr. Olson.
Oh, I'm not. But you said he was a pain in the neck. You said he was always hanging around her house when you wanted to be there.
Yeah, well, you weren't supposed to have heard that. But that used to be that way.
How is it now?
Leroy, the nurse has decided she doesn't need a doctor as much as she needs a water commissioner. The fact is, I haven't seen Dr. Clarence Olson in weeks.
Gee, then you're winning, aren't you, Unc?
You bet I'm winning.
Golly, you got to be smart to be the doctor, too.
You said it.
Gee, and you're my uncle.
Yeah.
Well, here's Piggy's house. See you later, Unc.
Yeah, see you later, Leroy. Yes, sir, there's a mighty fine boy.
Throckmorton.
Hello, Catherine.
Come on in. My, it's snowing out, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little.
Look at you. You have a big snowflake right on the end of your nose.
Yeah, I do? Well, cold nose, warm heart.
Let me take your coat.
Thank you. Well, beautiful tree, Catherine. And Christmas presents. Are all those for me?
No, but you can help me finish wrapping them.
Fine. Lots of presents.
Well, Mother and I have lots of relatives.
Yeah, sure.
Then I couldn't forget those darling children down at the hospital.
You?
There are 5 of them that Santa Claus may not remember.
Well, good for you, Captain. Be a shame if any little kiddies were forgotten on Christmas.
Here, put your finger on this ribbon while I tie the knot, huh?
Yeah, all right. Interesting paper you're using, Catherine. Mistletoe design.
Just put the package over there.
No, I think I'll balance it right on top of your head.
Throckmorton.
You know what that means? Mistletoe.
Aren't you rushing the season a little?
Only 3 more shopping days.
You better put the package down there by the tree.
Shucks. Say, here's a fancy-looking package.
Oh, I think that's the one Mother's giving me.
Your mother couldn't wait, huh? Let me shake this. I'll bet I can guess what's in it.
Now, Throckmorton.
Yep. Card fell off.
Oh, dear.
Well, isn't that just like your mother? To the dearest girl in the world, Clarence. Clarence!
Throckmorton, give me the package. That one isn't for Mother.
No, I guess not. Dr. Clarence Olson, the intern, huh? I thought he'd given up.
Clarence has been on night duty at the hospital.
Well, just so he hasn't been on night duty with my nurse.
Well, he hasn't forgotten me. I can hardly wait to open his present. He always thinks of the most original things.
Well, I haven't brought you my present yet. I'm liable to think of something pretty original, too.
Really? Give me a hint.
Yeah, well...
At the hospital, Clarence keeps teasing me about what's in this package.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. All he'll tell me is that it starts with a K for Catherine. Isn't that clever?
Well, I guess there's a fine line between being clever and being corny.
Throckmorton, he's very ingenious. In fact, the mistletoe paper was his idea.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it may have been his idea, but I was the first one who thought of holding it over your head. I think. You're coming, Bertie, coming. I wonder what Catherine is getting from that doctor. Clarence, the clever cut-up. I'll have to go him one better.
Good morning, Unky. Hi, Unc.
Good morning, children. Marge, what Christmas present can you think of that start with the letter K?
K? Well, who's the present for, Unc? A little kid we know spelled K-I-D?
Hardly, Leroy. I was thinking about something for a young lady.
Oh, you mean me?
We'll get around to you children later. There's a present under Miss Milford's tree. It starts with a K. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Uh-huh.
Leroy, what do you mean, ah-ha?
It's Miss Milford's present from Dr. Olson, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Well, if it's from Dr. Olson, why do you want to know what it is, Unky?
Well, I don't want to give her the same present, Marjorie. I'd like to give her something a little better.
Well, if it starts with a K, maybe it's a Kodak.
No, it's a pretty big package.
Canary?
I don't think it's anything alive, Leroy. And as I recall, canary doesn't start with a K.
Like some hot coffee, Mr. Gill, please?
Yeah, thank you, Bertie.
Bertie, we're trying to think of some gift a woman would like, starting with a K.
Any ideas, Bertie?
Well, if it's for a woman, maybe it's something for the kitchen.
Yeah, I can't think of anything but the kitchen that starts with a K. Except Kraft cheese.
I can't think of anything.
Maybe it's kisses, Mr. Gillsleeve.
Kisses?
The candy type. You know, candy kisses after paper.
Oh, my goodness. Dr. Olson. I wish I'd have thought of giving her something starting with a K for Catherine. Let's see. K. Carrot? You could be giving her a diamond. You wouldn't dare. Kettle drums? Kilts? Yeah, you wouldn't give her those. She'd look cute in them, though.
Well, good morning, Gilda.
Well, the Honorable Judge Hooker. Good morning, Horace.
You were walking along with a faraway look in your eye, dreaming of a white Christmas.
You old goat. Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea about a Christmas present for Miss Milford, Horace.
Oh? Well, I came down to hear the Kraft Choral Club. They're going to sing around the community Christmas tree here in the square.
Oh, yes. Well, let's get a little closer. I've been so worried about Catherine's Christmas present, I almost forgot they were in town.
They came all the way from Chicago, Gildy.
Yeah, I know, Judge. Say, there are a lot of them. You wonder who makes the cheese while they're on tour.
Shh. They're about to sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this Christmas season, it is our pleasure to present the Kraft Choral Club under the direction of Gerhard Schrode.
He came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their hearts of gold. Because the earth was willed to men from their gracious King. A whirling song and stillness made to hear the angels sing. Still through the golden skies they come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music flows o'er all the weary world. Above the sad and lonely plains they bear the hovering green, and never roaring fable sounds the blessed angels sing. Because the earth was willed to men from heaven for gracious King. Oh, rest beside the weary road and hear the angels sing.
My, Gildy. They're magnificent.
Yeah, they're great, all right, Horace. Great. Yeah, I think I'll try find something for Catherine in a hurry and come back.
I'll wait here, Gildy. In fact, I may go up and sing with them.
You please, not that, Judge. They didn't come all the way from Chicago to find the lost discord.
Now, Gildy. Wait a minute. They're going to sing again. Yes, it's beautiful. Nothing like the carols of this time of year. They warm the cockles of my heart and send the Yuletide spirit coursing through my veins.
Horace.
The great Gildersleeve continues his search for a Christmas present in just a moment. Again, this year, as the holiday season approaches, the makers of Kraft Quality Foods wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. During the year now drawing to a close, we have appreciated the confidence you have shown through your purchases in all the fine food products which your grocer has brought to you from Kraft. You may be sure that Kraft products will continue to merit your confidence in the future as they have in the past, and that the name Kraft on any label will continue to be your guide to the very finest in foods. Again, we say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to each one of you from all the men and women of Kraft. Now, back to the great Gildersleeve. Well, there's a fancy Christmas package under the tree at Catherine Milford's house from Gildersleeve's rival, Dr. Olson. What's in it? That's what the water commissioner would like to know.
Whatever it is, I'll get her something better. He may have the edge on me at the hospital, but by George, I'll beat him under the Christmas tree. I'll go all out. Hello, Peavey.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this afternoon?
I'm looking for a Christmas present, Peavey. For a lady. Something extra special.
Gift for Miss Milford, is it?
You bet. That sneaky Dr. Olson bought her something that looks pretty nice. But I'm going to go in one better. I'm going to get her something so beautiful and so clever it'll make him look silly.
My.
Any suggestions, Peavey?
Well, what does she like? Has she dropped any hints?
Not lately. All she talks about is those little kids she takes care of at the hospital. There must be something clever and original I could get for her, Peavey.
Now, how about a subscription to Look magazine?
Well...
Or how about a nice set of scales? Women like to weigh themselves, you know.
She can weigh herself at the hospital, Peavey.
Does she like sweetmeats?
Sweetmeats?
We have some very attractive boxes of candied prunes. Quite healthful, too.
No, Peavey.
Well, how about some nice musical bath salts?
No.
Then a ballpoint pen.
No.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're rather hard to please.
Yofer. Peavey, I've got to get something different. Something original. Now, you've had plenty of experience at this Christmas thing.
That's true.
You've been buying Christmas presents for Mrs. Peavey for 20 years.
Yes, I have.
Well, certainly after all that time, a man should know what it takes to please a woman.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, my goodness. I can see you're going to be no help at all, Peavey. I'm going over to Hogan Brothers.
That's a good idea. Happy shopping, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Happy shopping. Oh, what a mob in these stores. Why does everybody wait till the last minute to buy Prestos? Oop! You watch that umbrella, lady.
Second floor. Phonographs, radios, toys.
Out on two, please. Yeah. You might get her a radio. No, everybody has a radio. Have to be more original than that if I'm going to beat that slick intern. Christmas won't mean a thing to me unless I outdo him. Well, cute toys up here.
Is that you, Miss Gildersleeve?
Well, hello, Bertie. What are you doing up here in the toys?
Oh, I got a lot of little nieces and nephews I have to buy for.
Oh, yes.
They don't have much, so when I show up every Christmas with my arms full of toys, they think I'm some pumpkin.
Yeah, I'll bet they do, Bertie. Say, what if I showed up with an armful of toys for those kiddies at the hospital? The ones Miss Milford is so fond of.
Them children would think you some pumpkins too, Miss Gildersleeve.
Well, I guess they would. What's more, I'd be some pumpkins with Miss Milford, too.
Yes, sir.
You bet. Nothing I could do that would impress her more. Right, George, this is a great idea we had, Bertie. Click! Click! I want to buy some toys. Dr. Olson can never top this. I'll walk in on Catherine, pass out these toys to her little kiddies, and tell her this is my Christmas present to her. What can she say? Except that I'm the greatest guy in the world. The kids will get a kick out of it, too. Intern, turn in your suit. You're through. Yeah, this must be the ward. I see some children. Well, hello, little children.
Hello.
Hello. Where's Miss Milford?
She'll be back. She went to get our orange juice.
Well, I'll just put these packages down and wait.
Santa Claus?
Me?
No, he's not Santa Claus. He hasn't got a white beard. But he's nice and fat. Yeah, but he's not Santa Claus. Santa Claus never comes around here.
Now, wait a minute, young fellow. I'm sort of a Santa Claus. I brought all these presents to you children.
For us? Honest and truly? Oh, boy! You see, Stuffy, he is Santa Claus.
Oh, boy, I gotta come over and see them.
Stuffy's lucky. He's in a wheelchair.
Oh. Well, I'll bring the presents around to your little beds when Nurse Milford comes.
I want to open mine.
No, wait a minute, Stuffy. You shouldn't open presents until Christmas.
I don't want to open mine until Christmas. I just want to dream about what's in them.
Yeah, that's the idea, little girl.
While we're waiting for Nurse Milford, will you read us a Christmas story?
Christmas story?
That's what she was doing.
Yeah, they're in that book.
Well, I like stories. I used to read them to my niece and nephew. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. Oh, Why the Chimes Rang by Raymond MacDonald Alvin.
I like that one.
I don't know it.
Well, I've been in the hospital longer than you have.
Well, let's read it. We don't have much time. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, there was a wonderful church. It stood on a high hill in the midst of a great city. And every Sunday, as well as on sacred days like Christmas, thousands of people climbed the hill to its great archways, looking like lines of ants, all moving in the same direction.
They don't allow ants in the hospital.
Stop interrupting, Stuffy.
Yes, you must listen, Stuffy. Now, all the people knew that at the top of the tower was a chime of Christmas bells. They'd hung there ever since the church had been built, and were the most beautiful bells in the world. Some described them as sounding like angels, far up in the sky. Others as sounding like strange winds singing through the trees. But for many years, they had never been heard.
Why didn't the bells ring?
Well, we're coming to that. It was said that people had been growing less careful of their gifts for the Christ child, and that no offering was brought which was fine enough to deserve the music of the chimes. Every Christmas Eve, people still crowded to the altar, each one trying to bring some gift better than any other.
Why'd they do that?
Well, for personal reasons, I guess. They were trying to make a big impression.
Oh.
Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Now, a number of miles from the city, in a little country village, lived a boy named Pedro and his little brother. They'd heard of the service in the church on Christmas Eve and planned to go see the beautiful celebration. Nobody can guess, little brother, Pedro would say, all the fine things there are to see and hear. And I have even heard it said that the Christ child sometimes come down to bless the service. What if we could see him? The day before Christmas, Pedro and little brother were able to slip quietly away. And although the walking was hard in the frosty air, before nightfall, they had trudged so far, hand in hand, that they saw the lights of the big city just ahead of them. They were about to enter one of the great gates in the wall that surrounded it, when they saw something dark on the snow near their path, and stepped aside to look at it.
What was it?
Well, let's see. And there, by the path, was a poor woman who had fallen in the snow, too sick and tired to get in, where she might have found shelter.
Oh.
And Pedro knelt down beside her. You will have to go on alone, little brother, he said. Alone? Cried little brother. But you will not see the Christmas festival. No, said Pedro, and he could not keep back a bit of a choking sound in his throat. See this poor woman. Her face looks like the Madonna in the chapel window. And she will freeze to death if nobody cares for her. But I cannot bear to leave you and go on alone, said little brother. Both of us need not miss the service, said Pedro. And it had better be I than you. You can easily find your way to the church. And you must see and hear everything twice, little brother. Once for you, and once for me. And oh, if you get a chance, little brother, to slip up to the altar without getting in anyone's way, take this little silver piece of mine and lay it down for my offering when no one is looking. In this way, he hurried little brother off to the city and winked hard to keep back the tears as he heard the crunching footsteps sounding farther and farther away in the twilight. The great church was wonderful that night. When the organ played and the thousands of people sang, the walls shook with the sound. And little Pedro, way outside the city wall, felt the earth tremble around him. At the close of the service came the procession with the offerings to be laid on the altar. Rich men and great men marched proudly up to lay down their gifts to the Christ child. Some brought wonderful jewels. Some brought baskets of gold. But the chimes did not ring. And last of all came the king of the country, hoping with all the rest to win for himself the chime of the Christmas bells. There went a great murmur through the church as the people saw the king take from his head the royal crown, all set with precious stones, and lay it gleaming on the altar as his offering to the Holy Child. Surely, everyone said, surely we shall hear the bells now, for nothing like this has ever happened before. But still, only the cold old wind was heard in the tower, and the people shook their heads. And some of them said, as they had said before, that they never really believed the story of the chimes and doubted if they ever rang at all. Suddenly, everyone looked at the old minister, who was standing by the altar, holding up his hand for silence. Not a sound could be heard from anyone in the church. But as all the people strained their ears to listen, there came softly, but distinctly, swinging through the air, the sound of the chimes in the tower. So far away, and yet so clear the music seemed. So much sweeter were the notes than anything that had been heard before, rising and falling away up there in the sky, that the people in the church sat for a moment, as still as though something held each of them by the shoulders. Then they all stood up together and stared straight at the altar to see what great gift had awakened the long silent bells. But all that the nearest of them saw was the childish figure of little brother, who had crept softly down the aisle when no one was looking and had laid Pedro's little piece of silver on the altar.
That was a wonderful story. Why did the bells ring when little brother laid the piece of silver on the altar?
Well...
Why didn't they ring when the great men brought jewels and things?
Well, like the book said, each one was trying to bring some gift better than any other. Those men were trying to outdo each other. What little Pedro gave out of the goodness of his heart. He didn't have any ulterior motive.
What's an ulterior motive?
Well, I guess that's what I had when I came here.
That's Miss Milford coming.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll be going.
Aren't you going to wait and see our nurse? Where are you going, mister?
Well, I think I'll sneak out this side door.
But how'll she know who brought the presents?
Well, that's not important anymore. Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I'll tiptoe down the back steps. Well, 5 o'clock. I didn't know the hospital had chimes.
portions of the preceding program were transcribed. It's Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, you know, has been famous for years for bringing you the very finest foods. Quality foods, the world's favorite varieties of cheese, America's choice in salad dressings, and many other wonderful things to eat. When you shop, look for the name Kraft. Remember, the name Kraft on any food is your guarantee of quality. Well, it's a crisp, cold night in Summerfield. Here and there, a lighted Christmas tree glows warmly in a window. Holly wreaths have begun to appear. The ground is white with new snow, and it's still falling. Big, fat flakes that cling to the porches and to the trees and to the brim of the great Gildersleeve's hat as he hurries down his front steps, ventures cautiously onto the slippery walk, then strides gaily across the street toward Mr. Bullard's house.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we what?
Where you going?
Well, Leroy, I'm going to see Paula. Mrs. Winthrop this evening.
Did you get an official pass from Mr. Bullard to call on his sister?
Leroy, I don't need a pass. It's Christmas.
I think I'll go with you, Unc.
But
I'll sit and talk to Babs while you talk to her mother. The couch in front of the fireplace is a 4-seater.
Now, Leroy, you can see Babs anytime.
Just kidding, Unc. I'll bow out. You need all the breaks you can get anyway.
What's this?
Well, you haven't seen Mrs. Winthrop much since that rival blew into town.
Oh, that fellow Bruce Pendleton.
Yeah. Brucey. That's what she calls him.
Yofer.
Competition, Unc.
Leroy, he's just in town for the holidays. And he's staying at Mr. Bullard's club. I'm sure he's as much Mr. Bullard's friend as he is Paula's.
Yeah? I don't think he'd take so long on the porch these nights if he was just saying goodnight to Mr. Bullard.
I'd better hurry right over there.
Good luck, Unc.
Thank you, my boy. Yeah, I can meet the competition. I can take my time saying goodnight, too.
Well, Throckmorton.
Hello, Paula.
Come in. Oh, my, it's snowing out, isn't it?
It's just a little.
Yeah. Look at you. You have a big snowflake right on the end of your nose.
I do? Well, cold nose, warm heart.
Here, let me take your coat.
Yeah, thank you. Well, beautiful tree, Paula. And Christmas presents. Are all those for me?
Oh, no, but you can help me finish wrapping them.
Yeah, fine. A lot of presents.
Well, Babs and I have lots of relatives.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then I couldn't forget those little boys and girls at the children's home.
Say, you have been very active in social work since you came to Summerfield. I'm proud of you, Paula.
Oh, it's just something I love doing. Very much. And there are a few children in the infirmary that Santa Claus may not remember this year.
Good for you. It'd be a shame if any little kiddies were forgotten on Christmas.
Here, put your finger on this ribbon while I tie the knot.
Yeah, all right. Interesting design you're using, Paula. Mistletoe paper.
Oh, just put the package over there.
Yeah, I think I'll bounce it right on top of your head.
Oh, Throckmorton!
You know what that means? Mistletoe.
Aren't you rushing the season a little?
Only 4 more shopping days.
You better put the package down there by the tree.
Shucks. Say, here's a fancy-looking package.
I think that's my gift from Babs.
Oh, she couldn't wait, huh? Here, let me shake this. I bet I can guess what's in it.
Oh, now, Throckmorton.
Oop. Card fell off.
Oh, dear.
Well, isn't that just like Babs? To the dearest girl I know, Bruce.
Bruce!
Throckmorton, give me the package. That one isn't from Babs.
No, guess not. Bruce Pendleton. Pushy out-of-towners.
I can hardly wait to open his present. He always thinks of the most original things.
Well, I haven't brought you my present yet. I'm liable to think of something pretty original, too.
Oh, give me a hint.
A hint? Well...
Bruce keeps teasing me about what's in this package.
Yeah, he does he?
All he'll tell me is that it starts with a P. For Paula. Isn't that clever?
Well, I guess there's a fine line between being clever and being corny.
Now, Throckmorton, he's very ingenious. In fact, the mistletoe paper was his idea.
It was? Well, it may have been his idea. But I was the first one who thought of holding it over your head. I think. Couldn't sleep last night. Coming, Bertie. Yeah, I wonder what Paula is getting from that Bruce character. Why isn't he back in Dayton working? Maybe he owns a factory or something. Well, I'll have to go him one better.
Good morning, Unky.
Hi, Unc.
Good morning, children. You. Where's Bronco?
Oh, he grabbed a donut and ran off to shop for the twins.
Oh?
Uh-huh. He has to play Santa this year, you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the twins are so excited. They look at the tree and the colored lights and laugh.
What are they laughing at? They don't know what Christmas is all about.
Yeah, I wish I had something to laugh about. Marjorie,
Yes, Unky?
what Christmas presents can you think of that begin with the letter P?
The letter P? Well,
Who's the present for, Unc? A little nephew pal of yours spelled P-A-L?
Hardly, Leroy. I was thinking of something for a young lady.
oh, you mean me?
We'll get around to you children later. There's a present under Paula Winthrop's tree, and it starts with the letter P. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Uh-huh. It's her present from Brucey, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Well, if it's from your rival, why do you want to know what's in it, Unky?
Well, I don't want to give her the same present. I'd like to give her something a little better.
Well, if it starts with a P, maybe it's perfume.
Yeah, it's a big package. Have to be pretty cheap perfume.
I'll bet it's a Palomino pony.
Leroy.
Like some hot coffee, Mr. Gillsleeve?
Thank you, Bertie. Could it be perfume?
No, sir. This is coffee.
Yes.
Bertie, we're trying to think of some gift a woman would like, starting with the letter P.
Something for a woman? How about petticoat?
He wouldn't dare.
Any other ideas, Bertie?
Well, it could be something for the kitchen. Let's see, pot, pan, percolator?
Bertie, this is a present for Mrs. Winthrop.
Yes, sir. And you say it starts with the letter P. Oh, I got it, Mr. Gillsleeve.
You have?
I know something she likes. Philadelphia cream cheese.
Oh, my goodness. What a crafty answer. That Bruce Pendleton. Wish I'd have thought of giving her something starting with P for Paula. Here, let's see. Might be a purse. Here's a string of pearls. Water commissioner, you're getting in over your head.
Well, good morning, Gildy.
Well, the Honorable Judge Hooker. Good morning, Horace.
You were walking along with a faraway look in your eye, dreaming of a white Christmas.
You old goat. Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea about a Christmas present for Mrs. Winthrop, Horace.
Oh? Well, I came down to hear the Craft Choral Club. They're going to sing under the community Christmas tree.
Oh, yes. Let's get a little closer.
Yeah.
I've been so worried about Paula's Christmas present, I almost forgot they were in town.
They came all the way from Chicago, Gildy.
Yeah, I know, Judge. See, there's a lot of them. Wonder who makes the cheese while they're on tour.
Shh. They're about to sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this Christmas season, it is our pleasure to present the Kraft Choral Club under the direction of Gerhard Schroth.
They're magnificent.
Yeah, they're great, all right. I think I'll try to find something for Paula in a hurry and come back.
I'll wait here, Gildy. In fact, I may go up and sing with them.
Please, not that, Judge. They didn't come all the way from Chicago to hear you cackle.
Now, Gildy. Wait, they're going to sing again.
Fine group, Horace.
Yes, it's beautiful. Nothing like the carols at this time of year. They warm the cockles of my heart and send the Yuletide spirit coursing through my veins.
Quiet, Horace. Listen.
The great Gildersleeve continues his search for a Christmas present in just a moment. Again this year, as the holiday season approaches, the makers of Kraft Quality Foods wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. During the year now drawing to a close, we have appreciated the confidence you have shown through your purchases in all the fine food products which your grocer has brought to you from Kraft. You may be sure that Kraft products will continue to merit your confidence in the future, as they have in the past, and that the Kraft name on any label will continue to be your guide to the very finest in foods. Again, we say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to each of you from all the men and women of Kraft. Now, back to the great Gildersleeve. Well, Meanwhile, there's a fancy Christmas package under the tree at Paula Winthrop's house from Gildersleeve's out-of-town rival. What's in it? That's what the water commissioner would like to know.
Whatever it is, I'll get her something better. He may have the edge of me saying goodbye on the porch, but by George, I'll beat him under the Christmas tree. Yeah, I'll go all out. Hello, Peavey.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm looking for a Christmas present, Peavey. For a lady. Something extra special.
A gift for Mrs. Winthrop, is it?
You bet. That sneaky Pendleton fellow bought her something that looks pretty nice. And I'm going to go him one better. I'm going to get her something so beautiful and so clever, it'll make him look silly.
My, giving you trouble, is it?
Well, I guess Paul is impressed with the guy because he came all the way from Dayton to see her.
Well, that does take more of an effort than just walking across the street the way you do.
Any ideas, Peavey?
Well, you might go to Dayton and come back.
No, Peavey. I want suggestions about a gift.
Well, what did she like? Has she dropped any hints?
No. She's been too busy planning a nice Christmas for the children's home. She spends a lot of time over there.
Oh, that's nice.
There must be something clever and original I can get for her, Peavey.
Does she like sweetmeats?
Sweetmeats?
We have some very attractive boxes of candied prunes, quite healthful, too.
No, Peavey.
Well, how about some musical bath salts?
No.
Well, how about a nice set of bath scales? Women like to weigh themselves, you know.
No.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're rather hard to please.
Yep. Peavey, I've got to get something different. Something original. Now, you've had plenty of experience at this Christmas thing.
That's true.
You've been buying Christmas presents for Mrs. Peavey for 20 years.
Yes, I have.
Well, certainly, after all that time, a man should know what it takes to please a woman.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, my goodness. I can see you're going to be no help at all, Peavey. I'm going over to Hogan Brothers.
That's a good idea, and happy shopping, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Happy shopping. Oop. Elevator's crowded. Ew. What a mob in these stores. Why does everybody wait till the last minute to buy presents? Whoop! Watch that umbrella, lady.
Second floor, phonographs, radios, toys.
Out on 2, please.
Come here, please.
You might get her a radio. No, everybody has a radio. I have to be more original than that if I'm going to beat that Dayton Don Juan. Christmas won't mean a thing to me unless I outdo him. Well, cute toys up here.
Oh, is that you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yeah, hello, Bertie. What are you doing up here in toys?
Oh, I got a lot of little nieces and nephews I have to buy for.
Oh, yes.
They don't have much, so when I show up every Christmas with my arms full of toys, they think I'm some pumpkin.
Yeah, I'll bet they do, Bertie. Say, what if I showed up with an armful of toys for those kiddies at the children's home? The ones Mrs. Winthrop is so fond of.
Oh, them children would think you were some pumpkins too, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I guess they would. What's more, I'd be some pumpkins with Paula, too.
Yes, sir.
You bet. There's nothing I could do that'd impress her more. Right, George, this is a great idea we had, Bertie. Clerk! Clerk, I want to buy some toys. I wonder where all the kids are. Paula's car is parked out in front, but say, I'll bet she's in the infirmary. Well, I'll walk in on them, pass out these toys to the little kiddies, and tell Paula this is my Christmas present to her. What can she say? Except that I'm the greatest guy in the world. This'll fix that Bruce Pendleton. You can never top this. Well, here we are. I see some children. Hello, kiddies.
Hello.
Hello. Where's Mrs. Winthrop?
She'll be back. She went to get us some orange juice.
Oh. Where are all the rest of the children?
They got taken downtown.
They did?
Yeah, to see the big Christmas tree.
All that were able to go.
I see. Well, I'll just put these packages down and wait for Mrs. Winthrop.
Are you Santa Claus?
Me?
No, he's not Santa Claus. He hasn't got a white beard.
But he's nice and fat.
Yeah, but he's not Santa Claus. Santa Claus never comes around here.
No, wait a minute, young fellow. I'm sort of a Santa Claus. I brought all these presents to you children.
For us, honest and truly?
Oh, boy.
You see, Tommy, he is Santa Claus.
Oh, boy, I gotta come over and see him.
Tommy's lucky. He's in a wheelchair.
Oh. Well, I'll bring the presents around to your little bed when Mrs. Winthrop comes.
I want to open mine now.
No, wait a minute, Tommy. You shouldn't open presents until Christmas.
I don't want to open mine until Christmas. I just want to dream about what's in them.
That's the idea, little girl.
While we're waiting for Mrs. Winthrop, will you read us a Christmas story?
Christmas story?
That's what she was doing.
Yeah, in that book.
Well, I like stories. I used to read them to my niece and nephew. Here, let's see what we have here. Why the Chimes Rang by Raymond MacDonald Alden.
I like that one.
I don't know it.
Well, I've been in here longer than you have.
Yes. Well, let's read it. We don't have much time. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, there was a wonderful church. It stood on a high hill in the midst of a great city. And every Sunday, as well as on sacred days like Christmas, thousands of people climbed the hill to its great archways, looking like lines of ants all moving in the same direction.
They don't allow ants in here.
Stop interrupting, Tommy.
Yes, you must listen, Tommy. Now, all the people knew that at the top of the tower was a chime of Christmas bells. They'd hung up there ever since the church had been built, and were the most beautiful bells in the world. Some described them as sounding like angels far up in the sky. Others as sounding like strange winds singing through the trees. But for many years, they had never been heard.
Why didn't the bells ring?
Well, we're coming to that. It was said that people had been growing less careful of their gifts for the Christ child, and that no offering was brought which was fine enough to deserve the music of the chimes. Every Christmas Eve, people still crowded to the altar, each one trying to bring some gift better than any other.
Why'd they do that?
Well, for personal reasons, I guess. They were trying to make a big impression.
Oh.
Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Now, a number of miles from the city, in a little country village, lived a boy named Pedro and his little brother. They had heard of the service in the church on Christmas Eve and planned to go see the beautiful celebration. Nobody can guess, little brother, Pedro would say, all the fine things there are to see and hear. And I've even heard it said that the Christ child himself sometimes comes down to bless the service. What if we could see him? The day before Christmas, Pedro and little brother were able to slip quietly away. And although the walking was hard in the frosty air, before nightfall they had trudged so far, hand in hand, that they saw the lights of the big city just ahead of them. They were about to enter one of the great gates in the wall that surrounded it, when they saw something dark on the snow near their path, and stepped aside to look at it.
What was it?
Well, let's see. There by the path was a poor woman who had fallen in the snow, too sick and tired to get in, where she might have found shelter.
Oh.
Pedro knelt down beside her. You will have to go on alone, little brother, he said. Alone? Cried little brother. But you will not see the Christmas festival. No, said Pedro, and he could not keep back a bit of choking sound in his throat. See this poor woman? Her face looks like the Madonna in the chapel window, and she will freeze to death if nobody cares for her. But I cannot bear to leave you and go on alone, said little brother. Both of us need not miss the service, said Pedro, and it better be I than you. You can easily find your way to the church, and you must see and hear everything twice, little brother. Once for you, and once for me. And oh, if you get a chance, little brother, to slip up to the altar without getting in anyone's way, take this little silver piece of mine and lay it down for my offering when no one is looking. In this way, he hurried little brother off to the city and winked hard to keep back the tears as he heard the crunching footsteps sounding farther and farther away in the twilight. The great church was wonderful that night. When the organ played and the thousands of people sang, the walls shook with the sound, and little Pedro, way outside the city wall, felt the earth tremble around him. At the close of the service came the procession with the offerings to be laid on the altar. Rich men and great men marched proudly up to lay down their gifts to the Christ child. Some brought wonderful jewels. Some brought baskets of gold. But the chimes did not ring. And last of all came the king of the country, hoping with all the rest to win for himself the chime of the Christmas bells. There went a great murmur through the church as the people saw the king take from his head the royal crown, all set with precious stones, and lay it gleaming on the altar as his offering to the Holy Child. Surely, everyone said, we shall hear the bells now, for nothing like this has ever happened before. But still, only the cold old wind was heard in the tower. And the people shook their heads. And some of them said, as they had said before, that they never really believed the story of the chimes, and doubted if they ever rang at all. Suddenly, everyone looked at the old minister, who was standing by the altar holding up his hand for silence. Not a sound could be heard from anyone in the church, but as all the people strained their ears to listen, there came, softly but distinctly, swinging through the air, the sound of the chimes in the tower. So far away, and yet so clear the music seemed. So much sweeter were the notes than anything that had been heard before, rising and falling away up there in the sky, that the people in the church sat for a moment, as still as though something held each of them by the shoulders. Then they all stood up together and stared straight at the altar to see what great gift had awakened the long silent bells. But all that the nearest of them saw was the childish figure of little brother, who had crept softly down the aisle when no one was looking, and had laid Pedro's little piece of silver on the altar.
That's a wonderful story.
Why did the bells ring when little brother laid the piece of silver on the altar?
Well,
Why didn't they ring when the great men brought jewels and things?
well, like the book said, each one was trying to bring some gift better than any other. Those men were trying to outdo each other, while little Pedro gave out of the goodness of his heart. He didn't have any ulterior motive.
Ulterior motive? What's that?
Well, I guess that's what I had when I came in here.
That's Mrs. Winthrop coming.
It is?
Yeah.
I guess I'll be going.
Aren't you going to wait and see Mrs. Winthrop?
Where are you going, mister?
Well, I think I'll sneak out this side door.
But how'll she know who brought the presents?
Well, that's not important anymore. Merry Christmas.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'll tiptoe down the back steps. Well, 5 o'clock. I didn't know the children's home had chimes. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Joy to the world, the Lord is
Portions of the preceding program were transcribed. Groucho Marx, you bet your life, he's on NBC.
Transcribed.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. Just about this time each week, we usually bring you some hints and ideas about using some of those fine Kraft foods. But we just don't have time to do that tonight because Christmas is in the air. And the Kraft choristers are waiting with a traditional carol.
He came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old. From angels bending near the earth to touch their hearts of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from hands of gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the globe and skies they come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music flows o'er all the weary world. Above the sad and lonely plains they bend a hovering wing, and ever o'er his stable sounds the blessed angels sing. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious King. Who rest each time the weary road, and hear the angels sing.
Yes, the great Gildersleeve's town of Summerfield is imbued with all the excitement and anticipation that attends the Yuletide season. There's the hurried search for the last-minute gift, the elaborate preparations for the big family dinner, and people are saying Merry Christmas to people they've never seen before. Some folks like to put up the tree very early and enjoy its fragrance and beauty, but it's traditional with the great Gildersleeve to decorate his tree on the day before Christmas.
Leroy, don't just jump up in the air and toss things on the tree.
Oh, gosh, Unc, it doesn't have enough tinsel on top.
Here, let me hang it up there.
Okay.
I can't reach the top either.
I got an idea.
Oh?
Boost me up to the chandelier. I'll swing past and drop things.
Leroy, you're not a monkey.
But I can do practically anything a monkey can do.
Yeah, well, let's leave well enough alone.
Okay. A tree doesn't need many decorations anyway. Just presents.
Yes, yes.
Leroy, how you and Mr. Gilsleeve doing with the tree?
We can't get enough stuff on the top, Bertie.
Did anybody think about using the kitchen stool?
Why didn't I think of that?
Because you're not as smart as Bertie?
Leroy, that's a risky thing to say before Santa Claus comes.
Hey, excuse me. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I'll get the stool.
By George, he's on good behavior today, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
You think we have enough lights strung on the tree?
Oh, yes, sir. I wouldn't change a thing.
Here's the stool, Unc.
Fine.
It's too bad Miss Margie and Mr. Bronco ain't here this time.
Yeah, but they'll just miss it, that's all.
It's their tough luck.
No mail from them this morning?
Nah, they're not thinking about us.
Well, I'm a little surprised that we haven't even had a card from them.
Well, Bertie better get back to her kitchen. Just 'cause there's only 3 of us, Bertie's not going to go slow down in the kitchen.
Keen, Bertie.
I did it!
Yeah, I guess you'll have to, Bertie. I'm up in the tree.
Eggman.
Morning, Miss Cooley.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I came to the front door because I'm not here on business. Hello, Bertie.
Come in, Cooley. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I brought something for your tree. Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
I find it pays to remember my customers this time of year. Hello, customer Gildersleeve.
Hello, Mr. Cooley. That's very nice of you.
What did you bring?
Leroy, it isn't polite to ask.
Well?
Oh, that's all right. I brought the water commissioner an egg poacher.
An egg poacher?
That's nice.
I always give a lot of thought to my Christmas presents.
Well, thank you very much. Now, let's see what we have for Mr. Cooley.
What are you going to give him, a gallon of water?
You'll have to come up with something besides water. On the farm, we have our own well.
Bertie, where is our gift for Mr. Cooley?
Here it is, Mr. Cooley.
Well, thank you.
I better get back and look at that oven.
The card says, do not open until Christmas.
It's a necktie.
Leroy.
Well, he told us about the egg poacher.
Glad you told me, Leroy. I wouldn't like to lie awake tonight wondering about it. Well, I'll take my loot and go home.
Well, have a nice holiday, Cooley.
Thank you, sir. I suppose you're expecting all the family over for Christmas.
Well, Marjorie and her family are out of town. This year it'll just be Leroy and me.
Yeah, we're going to have a ball, I'll bet you.
It's too bad you won't have all your family together. We're having a house full.
Oh, that's nice.
All of my folks will be there, and there'll be Mrs. Cooley's sister from Kalamazoo and her brother from the Chicago Zoo.
No kidding?
He works there.
Oh.
Well, if you get a little lonesome, Mr. Gildersleeve, bring Leroy out to our house.
Well, thanks, Mr. Cooley, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, who's going to be lonesome?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, Leroy, I guess the tree is ready.
Unc, why does everybody feel they have to have a lot of people around just because it's Christmas?
I haven't the vaguest idea. I guess they're just not as self-sufficient as we are, that's all. I don't know anybody who's going to have a nicer Christmas. Do you?
Heck no. That's what I've been telling myself.
Right.
Yeah, right. Remember when there were so many of us that took all Christmas morning to open our presents?
Yeah, I remember it well.
But this time it'll be different. I can open a present, you can open a present. Heck, we'll have all that stuff over within half an hour.
I suppose it would be nice, though, to see Marjorie and Bronco.
Yeah, but if they were here with the twins and the in-laws, what a clam bake.
Well, Christmas is no time to bake clams. Yeah.
Pretty good, Unc.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Leroy.
Yeah?
What are we laughing at?
I don't know.
With part of the family away, I guess it isn't going to be much of a Christmas for Leroy. Well, I'll drop into Peavey's and get an extra surprise for him. Hello, Mr. Peavey.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
What can I do for you today?
Peavey, what Christmas presents do you have left?
I'm just about cleaned out.
Say, you don't have much, do you?
Christmas business was so good, I dipped into some of my leftover Easter stock.
Really?
I took the cotton tail off the bunny rabbit, put it on his chin, and sold it for Santa Claus.
Peavey, you didn't.
Well, I could. What color rabbit do you want?
No. I'm looking for a gift for Leroy.
I thought you'd already bought him a bike, a football, and new skates.
Yes, but this is a bonus gift. A little something to fill his stocking.
And what about a chocolate malted milk?
Now, Peavey, I'm looking for something unusual.
That's pretty unusual.
Yes. Peavey, come up with an idea.
Well, I presented Mrs. Peavey with a rather unusual gift this year.
You did?
I gave her a train ticket back to her mother.
Peavey.
She wanted to spend part of the holidays back there.
Oh, I see.
Then we're giving our parrot some canary seed for Christmas, but that wouldn't do for Leroy, I guess.
Well, I see I'm getting nowhere here, Peavey.
Mr. Gildersleeve, in the spirit of Christmas, I'd suggest that you try to find something at Hogan Brothers.
You're not even going to try to sell me?
No, right now all I'm trying to do is to get you out of the store.
What?
I want to lock up for an hour and go hear the craft chorusers.
Oh, say, they're singing around the community Christmas tree in the square, aren't they?
I'm here to tell you. I just may go down there and help them out a little. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Peavey.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, Christmas.
Oh! My goodness. Peavey, you're the one who should eat the canary seed.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Boy, look at the people. Hogan Brothers is booming.
Mr. Bentley, cash.
Yeah, I think I'll look in the sporting goods department. By George, I'll find something to brighten Leroy's Christmas. If I can get to the counter in this crowd. Pardon me, madam. Miss, coming through. Oof. Watch that umbrella, lady. I was almost shish kebabbed.
One at a time, please.
Clerk, I've been waiting.
Oh, no, you haven't. I saw you push through the crowd, pushy.
Now, see here. I'm the water commissioner, and I'd like to see something nice for a boy.
How about a girl?
Smart Alec.
Why don't you just look around? In a moment, I'll be glad to help you. Would you like a gift wrap, madam?
Now, let's see. There's some basketballs, punching bag, table tennis.
Mr. Bentley, cash. Hey, mister,
Yes, young man.
I'd like to buy this fishing rod.
Well, I'm afraid that rod isn't for a boy.
Well, that's Leroy.
I don't want it for a boy. I want it for my uncle.
Oh.
That rod is quite expensive.
Well, that's okay. My uncle isn't going to have much of a Christmas. I've got to cheer him up.
Well, this should do it.
What a boy.
Let me see how much I got now. $1, $2, $2.50, 75, 76, 7, 8.
Little Leroy, spending his pennies on me.
I guess I don't have enough.
Well, we have some cheaper ones.
Leroy!
Hi, Unc.
Excuse me, there's a lady at the end of the counter waving some money at me.
Unc, what are you doing here?
Well, I might ask you the same thing.
I asked you first.
Leroy, I know why you're here. I couldn't help overhearing what you said to the clerk.
Well, gosh. Where were you?
Yeah. I was looking at the punching bags.
Unc, how about having lunch on me? I'm loaded.
You loaded. No, lunch is on me, my boy. Come on, we'll shop later.
Hey, that's the craft choristers across the street in the square. Let's go hear them.
You bet. Nothing like carols at Christmas.
This is Jesus, good folk of the village. Christ is born, and Mary calls you. Oh, oh, worthy is the mother. Oh, lovely is the child.
They sing nicely, don't they, my boy?
They sure do.
When we now approach the manger, quiet keep by the prayer's side. Like a flower here Jesus loveth, there's a dove which sings so rosy. Sweetly the babe reposes, see how he smiles in dreams.
Fine group of singers, eh, Leroy?
Yeah, keen. Hey, look. There's Mr. Peavey over by the platform.
So wonder he isn't up on it.
And look, Unc. Chief Gates and Floyd Munson.
Yeah, and there's Dr. Pettibone with his boy home from school.
Looks like everybody's here except Marge and Bronco.
Stiff upper lip, Leroy.
Well,
They're going to sing again.
Ding dong bell, ding dong bell, ding dong merrily on high, and the bells are ringing. Ding dong merrily on high, Scarlet and was singing. Oh,
great Gildersleeve will be right back. Well, Christmas is so close, the bells you just heard might very well be Santa's sleigh bells. But before that jolly fellow comes to you, this is John Heaston on behalf of all the folks at Kraft, wishing each and every one of you the merriest, jolliest Christmas of them all. Well, the great Gildersleeve and Leroy are facing a situation they've never before had to face, an empty house at Christmas time. Each is trying to give the other the best possible Christmas, and the water commissioner is sure he has come up with the right answer.
Bertie?
Yes, sir?
Leroy isn't home, is he?
No, sir.
Oh, good.
What you got there, Miss Gilsleeve?
More presents for Leroy.
More presents?
Yeah. Open the closet door, will you, Bertie?
The closet's full. You better dump them here in the den and lock the door.
Yes, good idea. Watch it, Bertie.
Oh, just look at that. What'd you do, buy out the store?
Well, just about.
Yes, sir.
Bertie! Uh-oh, Leroy.
Come in!
We better get out of here and lock the door.
Bertie, has the postman come around again yet?
He's made 2 trips, Leroy.
No word from Marjorie and Bronco, huh?
Nothing so far. Of course, you know how the mail is at Christmas.
Yeah, that boy needs cheering up. Leroy?
Yeah?
I suppose you noticed I locked the den door.
No, I didn't.
Well, I did. And don't try to find out why I locked it.
Okay.
Aren't you curious?
Well, I guess it's something you don't want me to see. Can I go down to Piggy's?
Yeah, I suppose so. Unless you want to stay here with Bertie and me.
Well, they're having a swell time down at Piggy's. They got a house full.
Oh.
So long.
Goodbye, my boy.
Bye, Leroy.
He doesn't seem very interested in his gifts, Bertie.
No, sir.
You got out of the house in a hurry.
Mr. Gilsleeve, Leroy wants to be where there's something going on.
Well, perhaps I should invite some people over for Christmas.
Now you're talking.
Why, George, why haven't I thought of this before? Why don't I ask my girlfriend?
Miss Tuttle?
You bet. Her family isn't here. And there's Peavey. He said Mrs. Peavey was going away for the holidays.
Oh, Leroy likes Mr. Peavey.
Sure, we'll have a crowd in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll get busy right away.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Why, George, this is a great idea. I just wish it was working. Miss Tuttle would be out of town, visiting relatives. Oh, well, it'd be a lot of fun to have old Peavey. Hello, Peavey.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. Did you find something for Leroy at Hogan Brothers?
Oh, a few things, Peavey, but Leroy and I want you for Christmas.
You want me gift wrapped, or can Santa Claus just drop me down the chimney?
Well, Peavey, we want you to come over and spend the day. Enjoy our Christmas with us.
Well, I appreciate the invitation, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I've decided to go with Mrs. Peavey to see her family.
Oh?
Mrs. Peavey and I wouldn't enjoy spending Christmas apart.
Oh, I see.
I'm sorry your family can't be together this year.
Well...
excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll wait on little Mrs. Potter.
Oh? She's still buying every pretty pill she sees?
Just about.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Peavey.
Well, thank you. The same to you.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Potter.
Merry Christmas. Who is that?
It's Commissioner Gildersleeve.
Oh, it's you, Sonny. I didn't recognize you.
Oh?
My glasses are all fogged up. But you're coming through now.
Well, good.
Mr. Peavey, I'm still looking for a gift for a friend of mine.
You don't say.
She's so hard to buy for. She's never ill.
Well, I don't know what to suggest. Of course, this is the mustard plaster season.
So it is.
If she doesn't use them this year, mustard plasters keep well.
Well, it is something she could wear, if she's lucky enough.
Yes.
But then, She couldn't show off my gift.
Mrs. Potter, have you thought of a nice atomizer?
That's a thought. I'll take one, Mr. Peavey, if you'll put a gaily colored gargle in it.
Well, I have several suitable shades. Red, green, lavender.
I'll take the red. It's Christmas, you know.
Very well. I'll tie some ribbon on it.
Say, Leroy likes Mrs. Potter. She might come over. Mrs. Potter.
Yes, Sonny?
How about coming over and spending Christmas Day with Leroy and me? We got a big tree. We'll have a lot of fun.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, it's nice of you to think of me, and I know I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I'm spoken for.
Oh.
The party I'm buying the atomizer for invited me, and I couldn't miss that. Her husband's a doctor.
Well, sorry you can't be with us.
Here's the gift. Shall I charge it, Mrs. Potter?
Oh, would you? I want to hurry back to the square to see the rest of the Christmas program.
Oh, did you hear the craft choristers, Mrs. Potter?
Oh, yes. And did you see the magician dressed like Santa Claus?
No, I missed him.
He kept making things disappear in his beard.
Yes, I noticed that. He ate lunch in here.
He's so clever.
Yes, he is. Mr. Gildersleeve, he's the same fellow we hired for the YMCA kids' picnic.
Oh, Leroy didn't get to go to that. Say, Leroy likes magicians. I wonder if I could hire him to entertain Leroy tomorrow.
I bet if you show him $20, he'll make it disappear.
By George, anything for Leroy. Well, looks like a beautiful Christmas morning. You better get downstairs and see what Leroy's up to. Don't think I'll tell him a magician's coming. I'll surprise him. Awfully quiet downstairs. Usually whooping and hollering. Am I the only one up? Why, George, this is the first Christmas I can remember that I've been awake before the kiddies. Kitty. What's the matter with that boy? Leroy!
Yeah?
Leroy, get up! Confound it, it's Christmas. I better plug in the tree lights. Make it look cheerful in here. You wonder why they always put light sockets behind couches. There.
Morning, Miss Gilsleeve.
Good morning, Bertie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Where's Leroy?
He's on the way down. I had to wake him up, Bertie.
That ain't like Leroy.
Well, this isn't like our usual Christmas.
No, sir.
Hurry up, Leroy.
I'm coming.
We've been waiting for you, my boy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Unc.
Merry Christmas, Leroy.
Merry Christmas, Bertie.
Well, now, I'll be Santa Claus and distribute the gifts.
Okay.
Leroy, do you want to be the first and open that big package?
I know what's in it. I can see the bike pedal sticking through the paper.
Is that all you have to say?
Oh, sorry, Unc. Thanks.
Bertie, here's something for you.
Thank you, sir. Oh, and what's in here? Leroy, what you suppose I got?
I don't know.
Well, I'll move some of these packages so I can get under the tree.
Oh, be careful of the one on top, Unc. It's a music box. I got it for the twins.
Yeah, I'll be careful with it. Oof, dropped it. It started to play. Maybe I better unwrap it and cut it off.
Oh, that's so pretty. Why don't you let it run down?
Let it play, Unc.
Good idea.
That silent night.
It sure is silent around here this Christmas.
Now, Bertie?
I sure miss Miss Marjorie and them little twins.
Wonder what they're doing this morning.
Leroy, let's not let it spoil our Christmas. The fun's just beginning.
Who are we kidding, Unc? This isn't Christmas.
Well, just doesn't seem like it because we're alone. I mean, the little family isn't all together. Here, here's another package for you, Bertie.
Yes.
And a big box for Leroy.
Just put it by the bike.
Oh, my goodness.
I sure wish the twins was home to hear that music, Pop.
Please, Bertie, let's not dwell on the subject.
I'm not dwelling on it. I'm just wishing they was here.
Oh dear.
You know, Bertie, last Christmas the twins were riding me piggyback.
They sure were.
And calling me Uncle Leroy. It isn't every kid my age who's lucky enough to be an uncle.
A lot of good that's doing us today.
Shall we open more presents?
Oh, Mr. Gilsleeve, it ain't just getting presents. It's wanting to give 'em and being with people you want to give 'em to.
Well, that's true, Bertie, but...
That's Christmas, and this ain't it.
No, Bertie...
It sure isn't.
No, wait a minute. This isn't all there is to Christmas. I have a surprise coming.
Yeah? What is it?
Well, I'll give you a hint, my boy. You know how you've always liked magic.
Magic? You mean I'm getting a magician's kit?
No, you just wait and see. You'll like this.
I'll go to the door.
No, Bertie, I'll get it. I think it's my surprise.
Yes, sir?
That magician couldn't have come at a better time.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Merry Christmas, Unky.
Marjorie! Bronco!
Oh, Miss Marjorie!
Yes, Bronco! Well.
Oh, it sure is.
Hello, Bertie.
Hello, Miss
How is
Marjorie.
everybody?
Hello. Hi, Marge. Hi, Bronco.
Oh, how's my little brother?
Hi, Bub. Come on in, Linda.
Hey, look at little Linda.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Linda. Well, bless you, my dear.
Ain't that cute?
Hey, Linda. Come on, climb on. I'll give you a horseback ride.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, boy, what a Christmas.
Say, where's Ronnie?
Oh, he's still sleeping in the car. I'll get him in a minute.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're looking bigger and better all the time.
Well, thank you, Bronco.
Especially bigger.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see you folks.
Oh, Unky, we wouldn't think of spending Christmas away from home.
Oh, Miss Marjorie, all of you sure are looking well.
Oh, thanks, Bertie.
Well, by George, let's all go in and gather around the tree.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, we have some presents to put on there.
Yeah, let's go in.
You bet.
Unc,
Huh? Yes, my boy.
you sure figured out a swell surprise.
Me?
Couldn't be better.
Well, No, I have to, Bertie. Now, how do I make a magician disappear?
Here I am, Mr. Gildersleeve, with my bag of tricks.
Well, here's your money. Why don't you take the day off?
Oh, you mean it?
You bet. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Unc, what's going on?
Just a little Christmas magic, my boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kraft Foods Company and the Fine Kraft Coil Group, the Gildersleeve family, and our friends wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
The Great Gildersleeve was presented tonight transcribed. Tonight play You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, makers of the one and only Miracle Whip, The famous salad dressing that's so good it outsells the next 20 leading brands of salad dressing combined. Why is Miracle Whip so good? A special craft recipe, fine ingredients, and expert blending all help make this the wonderful salad dressing it is. The salad dressing that can make your salads more delicious than ever. Get the one and only Miracle Whip salad dressing. It's made by Kraft. Well, it's New Year's Eve, but let's go back an evening and pick up the great Gildersleeve and his nephew Leroy in pursuit of their favorite diversions. Leroy is looking forward to seeing a movie, and his uncle is looking forward to seeing Miss Tuttle.
Uncle, you sure you don't want to go to the movie with me instead of going to see your girl?
Leroy, don't ask silly questions.
You're going to miss a peach.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I don't understand why a guy turns down a swell movie just to sit and hold hands with a girl.
We don't hold hands.
Then you're silly if you don't go to the movie.
Leroy.
Okay.
Watch it, young man. I don't mind admitting that I'm thinking of becoming seriously interested in Miss Tuttle.
Unc,
Yes, my boy?
I hate to see you wasting your time, so maybe I ought to tell you.
Tell me what?
A snapshot dropped off Miss Tuttle's desk one day, and I picked it up. Guess who it was?
Her mother?
Not wearing a major's uniform and a mustache.
Oh, I know about him, Leroy.
Yeah? He's a Marine, and they don't give up easy.
He doesn't mean anything to Miss Tuttle. She has his picture on her piano, but she never mentioned it.
Handsome, huh?
Well, uniforms and mustaches do some things for some very homely people.
When are you going to get a uniform?
Leroy.
Just kidding, gosh.
Well, tonight's the night. Grace promised to let me know if I could take her out New Year's Eve. If she gives me that date, then I'll know where I stand. Well, good evening, Grace.
Hello, Throckmorton. Come in.
Thank you. Here, I picked these up at the florist's.
What lovely roses. Here, let me take your hat.
Thank you. I see you still have your mistletoe up.
Oh, I let it stay through the holidays.
Why'd you hang it on the mantel over the fireplace?
It's so decorative.
Well, it has other uses, you know.
Really?
If a man tried to kiss a girl under that mistletoe, he'd catch fire.
Now, Throckmorton, you just come away from that fireplace.
Yeah, all right. I'll sit over here on the piano stool.
Excuse me while I put my flowers in some water.
You go right ahead. Yeah, I don't know if she likes me or not. How can I go about sewing up that date for New Year's Eve? Oop, here's that picture of the Major, staring at me over his silly mustache. I'll bet he waxes it.
What are you frowning at, Throckmorton?
Yo, I see you have some new music here. Glowworm. Glow with the glowworm. Hey, Grace, speaking of glowing, how about glowing out with me on New Year's Eve?
I suppose you think I've been awful about that date.
Well, I've been happy to wait, patiently. But Grace, tonight's the last night.
Well, really, Throckmorton, I haven't meant to keep you waiting, but...
Well, maybe we could talk it over better if there weren't so many people around.
What do you mean?
Why don't I turn the Major's picture to the wall? Two's company, but three's a crowd.
Oh, Throckmorton.
Now, what about it?
I'm sure we'll have a wonderful time.
You mean I have a date?
Mm-hmm.
Well...
What are you playing?
Something for the Major. Goodbye forever. By George, I feel great this morning. What a girl. What a date. What a New Year's Eve this is going to be. Well, better clear my desk. Get ready for 1953. It's Grace and me in 53. Come in. Hello, Peavey.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What are you doing out at the drugstore?
Oh, I fly the coop once in a while. I had to come down to City Hall today on a tax matter.
Are they checking up on you, Peavey?
No, I'm checking up on them. I'm entitled to a refund.
Make a mistake, did you?
No, I paid them too much on purpose. I like to get money back from the city.
Oh, my goodness. Sit down, Peavey, while I clear my desk.
From the looks of it, I don't think I can sit that long.
It'll only take a minute. I just have to dispose of this unanswered correspondence.
Mr. Gildersleeve, can you get by with stuffing it in the waste paper basket?
If it's anything important, they'll write me again.
Well,
anyway, I'm too happy about Miss Tuttle.
Miss Tuttle?
Grace, I should call her, since she calls me Throckmorton.
My, you're getting on pretty friendly terms.
Yep.
I've been married 30 years, and I still call Mrs. Peavey Mrs. Peavey.
Well, you never can tell what 1953 will bring. I may be calling Grace Mrs. Gildersleeve.
You don't say.
I can hardly wait until tonight to see her again.
You have a date tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I was sort of hoping we could ring out the old year together.
Oh?
Mrs. Peavey's still visiting her mother, and I didn't much care to go home and sing Auld Lang Syne with the parrot.
Well, Miss Tuttle and I are stepping out. Sorry, Peavey.
Oh, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm glad you don't.
So I'll go with you.
You will not. Why, George, I look pretty sharp if I do say so myself. Makes a man feel pretty good to wear tails, even if it's a short tail like a tuxedo.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy. Your old uncle's dressing for New Year's Eve. Do I look like I'm ready for the crystal room?
Keen. What are you going to do, wait tables?
Leroy, you know why I'm wearing this tuxedo?
What'd you do, buy it?
Well, not exactly.
Rented it, huh?
If you must know, yes.
Boy, get a load of those patent leather shoes. Where'd you rent those?
I bought them.
Hey, you must have gotten that date with Miss Tuttle.
Who did you think would get it?
Well, that Major.
I don't think we'll hear much more about him, my boy.
Yeah?
Now, let's go downstairs.
I'll clear the way for you, Unc. Hey, Bertie, look what's coming down the stairs.
My, just look at that class.
Hello, Bertie.
Is that the water commissioner and his soup and fish?
No, it's a big fish getting in the soup. He's in love again.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Mr. Gilsleeve, folks usually fall in love in the spring, and here it is the dead of winter.
Well, Unc's way past spring. If he's going to fall in love at all, it has to be winter.
I bet Miss Tuttle is proud to be stepping out with you in that rig.
well, I'm lucky, too, Bertie.
Yeah, Unc took her away from a Marine major.
Mr. Gilsleeve taking on the Marines, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's about the size of it.
Yes, sir.
Unc, I'm proud of you. You're doing all right, aren't you?
Well, I'm not one to brag, but Miss Tuttle is obviously interested, and obviously I'd make a good catch.
Oh, brother.
I'll get it!
Yeah, I'll take it on my way out, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Probably somebody wishing us a Happy New Year. Hello?
Throckmorton, this is Grace.
Oh, yes, Grace. I was just on my way over.
Well, I don't know how to say this except to just say it.
What?
I'm terribly sorry, but I'll have to ask you to change our date tonight.
Who?
I've had a tentative date for New Year's Eve for a long time. That's why I kept putting you off.
The Major, huh?
He got a last-minute leave, and he's coming all the way from the base, so there's really nothing else I can do.
There isn't, huh?
I do hope you'll understand. Happy New Year, Throckmorton.
Happy New Year.
What's the matter, Unc?
What?
Something happened between you and Miss Tuttle?
Oh, no. Everything's fine. Yeah, I'm on my way now.
Well, who was it?
Just somebody wishing us a Happy New Year. How does a man spend New Year's Eve alone in a rented tuxedo?
The
Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. 'Twas the night before New Year's, and all through the place, all the people were sad. Not a smile lit a face. The hostess was treating each guest with great care, hoping for laughter and gaiety there. Then, in a flash, she knew what was the matter. The food she was serving just couldn't taste flatter. So out to her kitchen she ran straight away for the stuff that would make all her guests holler, yay. Remember, for sandwiches, salads with zip, don't you forget to serve Miracle Whip. As poetry, that may not be so good, but as advice, it's terrific, because Miracle Whip salad dressing makes salads and sandwiches taste so much better. Miracle Whip has a lively, teasing flavor folks call just exactly right. And it's a flavor no other salad dressing has, because Miracle Whip is made from a secret craft recipe, a recipe that combines the qualities of zesty, old-fashioned boiled dressing and fine, rich mayonnaise. Miracle Whip has just the texture you want, too, creamy thick and smooth as satin, because it's blended with special craft beaters. Try this wonderful salad dressing. So many people like Miracle Whip so much, it's become the most popular salad dressing ever created, and actually outsells the next 20 leading brands of salad dressing combined. Get Miracle Whip the very next time you shop. Well, let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. Dressed in his rented tuxedo, he was eagerly anticipating New Year's Eve with his new girlfriend, Miss Tuttle. Already he was hearing the whistles, ratchets, and horns. Then came the sour note. Miss Tuttle phoned and canceled the date.
After all my big talk, I can't let Leroy know she called it off. I'll have to keep up the pretense and just wander around the streets until after midnight. It's going to be tough to do in these new shoes. My feet burn already. Hey, looks like Peavey is still open. He wanted me to do something tonight. Right, George, I'll celebrate with Peavey. He'll appreciate me. Nothing like your old pals on New Year's Eve. Hello, Peavey.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you?
Nothing, Peavey.
All dandied up for your date, I see.
Well, yes.
I bet you're just dying to grab a horn and get noisy.
Not especially. There's no hurry.
Yeah, I'm just about to close up and go home.
You're not in any hurry, are you, Peavey?
Well, there's nothing to stay here for. At least I can go home and talk to the parrot.
Peavey, I've decided to take you up on your proposition and spend New Year's Eve with you.
How's that?
We'll celebrate together.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you didn't have to wear your tuxedo for me.
No, Peavey?
I'm sorry if your date didn't pan out.
Well, I'm not. What'll we do, Peavey? Where'll we go?
Well, I'm not dressed to go out. We could pull the blinds and ice up a Coke.
Great idea, Peavey. You break out the Cokes and I'll pull the blinds. Yes, sir. This is the way to spend New Year's Eve, Peavey. Pour me another Coke.
Got it right here in the ice bucket.
Yeah, Peavey. Women can be a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's for you to say. I'm married.
Now, you take Miss Tuttle. I thought she was true blue. She phones me at the last minute. You can't count on them.
You can count on them to change their mind.
Yeah, they hand you one disappointment after another. Peavey, that's been the history of my life.
Well, you've had some interesting chapters. I can remember way back when you were in love with the widow Ransom.
Yeah, that Leela gave me fits. What a woman.
Yes, she was. Like I always said, she was the kind of woman that'd make a man burn down his house.
Yeah, it's been about 4 years since I've seen Leela.
Well, that's right. She did come back to town, didn't she?
Yeah, I was engaged to Adeline Fairchild at the time. She heard about it and arranged a rendezvous with me at the Palm Room.
That's a nice place to rendezvous.
I'll never forget. She was waiting behind a potted palm when I walked in. Leela, I didn't see you behind that potted palm.
I heard you coming, so I thought I'd play peekaboo.
By George, it's good to see you.
When I heard you engaged, I just had to see you, too. You know, little old addle-headed me.
Leela, you're a little devil.
You think so, Throckmorton?
Same old Leela. Say, you're doing your hair different.
Oh, well, I was wondering when you were going to say something. And you haven't even looked at my new dress.
Well, I didn't think I should, being an engaged man.
Silly. Oh, by the way, I haven't congratulated you.
Thank you. Leela, I hope you understand.
Good gracious, yes. When a girl's best boyfriend becomes engaged to a girl's cousin, who can understand better than that girl?
Leela, I'm glad you're taking it like this.
Throckmorton, I wish you every happiness.
Thank you.
And I hope you can find it with Adeline. Of course, now that you're engaged to be married, I bet you'll never think of little old Leela again.
Oh, yes, I will.
I'm afraid I'll think of you, too, sometimes. Throckmorton.
Yes, Leela?
You're holding my hand.
I am? Well, still shaking it from the congratulations.
We can't carry on the way we used to.
No, guess not.
Remember that beautiful summer day we packed a lunch and went boating up at Grass Lake? Just the two of us.
I was thinking about that last night.
You had your arms around me, showing me how to row, and the boat got stuck on a sandbar.
Yeah.
And big old strong you carried me ashore because you didn't want me to get my bathing suit wet. Throckmorton.
Yes?
You're holding my hand again.
Yeah. Sorry, Leela. I thought I was leading you back to the car.
You weren't leading. You were squeezing.
Sorry.
You naughty boy.
Oh, those were wonderful days, Leela.
Mm-hmm. Every spring when my lilac bush bloomed, we fell in love all over again, Throckmorton. Head over heels.
Head over heels? Leela, I'm all mixed up.
Oh, you poor darling. Tell Leela all about it.
Well, if you'd been here, I never would have gotten engaged to your cousin Adeline.
Wouldn't you, honey?
No, this never would have happened.
Throckmorton, do you know what you're saying?
What did I say?
Well, that if I'd been here, you'd be engaged to me now.
Well, if you'd said yes.
Well, I'm here and I say yes.
Huh?
Now all you have to do is explain everything to Adeline.
Explain what?
That you and I are engaged.
I'm engaged to two women.
You were in quite a pickle there, Mr. Gildersleeve.
It wasn't my fault, Peavey. Those two girls were responsible.
What did you ever do about that?
Well, when a man's engaged to two girls, what should he do but back out on both of them?
I guess that little showgirl helped you to forget, didn't she, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Katie Lee? Now, there was a girl.
As I recall, she hit town with her guitar on a rainy day.
Yeah, the Green Mountain Girl. I helped her over a water puddle into the theater, and she invited me backstage to dry my coat.
While your coat's drying, we can sit out here on the stage and talk.
Fine. What do you do on the show, Miss Lee?
Oh, I sing a couple of songs. But you tell me about yourself, Throckmorton. Are you married?
No, I'm a bachelor. But I haven't given up the idea. You're not married?
No, I'm a gypsy, I guess.
Love gypsies.
I lead a roaming life, Throckmorton.
Well, Summerfield might be a nice place to settle down.
It might be. Well, let me sing you a song about a boy who met a girl in the woods. And this is just for you.
For me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, when I was a young boy and drove my mother wild, I met a maiden in the wood, and she said, "Child, look deep into my green eyes and at my autumn hair. When you're a man, you'll never see a girl quite so fair. Remember me, remember me, remember for the rest of your life."
Nice.
I swore when she vanished that when I was full grown, I'd have a girl just like her to be my very own. But now I am a man, and I'd marry if I could. But I can't lose the memory of the girl in the wood. Remember me, remember me, remember for the rest of your
Peavey, she was hard to forget.
Have another Coke, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I think I will. Darn women. Just when you get to liking them, they leave you.
Yes, they've been running through your life like a greyhound bus.
Well, there was one I thought I could depend on.
You don't say.
Yep, my little nurse, Catherine Milford. But even she fooled me. And I found out she was having dates with that young intern, Dr. Olson. And I tried to put a stop to it, Peavey.
Naturally.
I wanted to get ahead of that intern. So I wrote her a note offering to go steady with her.
My.
Well, Catherine's out with that intern tonight. I'll slip the note under her door. Look at that moon. Wish I had the date. Who's that stopping in front of the house? Oop, here they are. I better get out of here. Here they come. If I make a break for it now, they'll see me. I'll just drop off the edge of the porch. Landed in the lily pond. Both feet. Can't stay here. Zeke. You'll hear that. I'm trapped. I just have to stand in it and hope they don't see me. Being in the lily pond at midnight would be hard to explain.
It's been a lovely evening, Clarence.
Now, Catherine, don't try to say good night so fast.
Well, I really should. I'd ask you in, but it's a little late.
Had a girl, Catherine. My shoes are filling up.
Well, is this the way you treat all your boyfriends? Send them right home?
Now, Clarence.
By the way, who's that funny-looking fellow you've been going with?
Oof.
Mr. Gildersleeve? He isn't so funny-looking. He works for the water department.
You bet. And I could turn off your water, Doc. Wish I could drain this pond.
Why don't we sit here on the porch and swing a while?
Gopher, go home.
It's a little cold for the porch swing, isn't it?
Oh, not for a red-blooded couple like us.
You'd better watch it.
Well, we'll sit down for a minute. We don't want to catch the sniffles out here.
Well, if you do, Dr. Olson will take your case.
Pushy Swede.
What would you prescribe, Doctor?
Well, first I'd advise that you take preventive measures, my dear.
Oh?
The way to ward off a cold is to keep warm. Let's sit a little closer together.
Oh, now, Doctor.
Oh, what a sneaky way to operate.
Now, there's nothing so romantic as an old porch swing if there's a boy and a girl in it.
That's what I was going to say.
And just look at that big yellow harvest moon over there. Doesn't that suggest anything to you?
Now he's using my moon.
Well, it suggests I'd better be going in.
Yeah, get up and go, Catherine. My feet are freezing.
Oh, please, Catherine, just 5 minutes more.
Oh, my goodness. I'll just have to try to make myself comfortable.
What's that? Fish in your pond?
Oh, no. There hasn't been a fish in that pond since I've lived here.
That's what she thinks. Peavey, I had a cold for a week.
Yeah, I remember. You bought a lot of remedies from me.
That's the last woman who's going to make a fool out of me. No, I mean it. No, I'm through. Never again. That's my one and only New Year's resolution. I'll never look at another woman.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Peavey's Pharmacy. Yes, he's here. It's for you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Me? Oh, thank you, Pete. Hello?
Throckmorton, this is Grace.
Grace? Oh, yes, Miss Tuttle. Yeah, I mean, Grace.
I phoned your home, and Leroy thought you might be at Mr. Peavey's.
Yeah, here I am.
Well, I feel terrible about this, but my date didn't get to town, so I wonder if you'd still care to take me out.
Would I? Grace, I'll be right over. Bye. Boy, what a New Year's. She wants me, Peavey. I'll see you later.
My.
Peavey, don't look at me like that. This is different.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Ray Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Resolve to give my family more appealing, more delicious meals than ever. Is that one of your resolutions this year? Then better make a resolution to always keep Miracle Whip salad dressing on hand, too. Miracle Whip does wonders for salads and sandwiches. Try it. See for yourself why Miracle Whip is America's favorite salad dressing.
All of us, and all the folks at Kraft, hope the new year will be full of good things for you. Let me say for them, Happy New Year, everybody. May 1953 bring good health and prosperity to you and peace to the world.
The Great Gildersleeve was presented tonight transcribed. Tonight play You Bet Your Life on NBC.
The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet Margarine, presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The
Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. During the year now drawing to a close, we have appreciated the confidence you have shown through your purchases in all the fine food products which your grocer has brought to you from Kraft. You may be sure that Kraft products will continue to merit your confidence in the future as they have in the past, and that the name Kraft on any label will continue to be your guide to the very finest in foods.
Gosh, just imagine. Tomorrow night's Christmas Eve. And boy, am I ready for it. My unc's about ready, too. He's the great Gildersleeve. Unc's a great guy. He'll do anything for you if he likes you. Next to me, I guess he likes Miss Irene Henshaw best. You should have seen him when I came home from school last week and told him what she was planning with his rival, Dr. Olson.
Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Unc.
That you, Unc Leroy?
Yeah, hi, Bertie.
I thought that was you. Dinner'll be ready in just a few minutes.
You're late, my boy.
I wanted to give you time to hide any new presents you may have for me.
What makes you think I have any presents?
What makes you keep your room door locked this week?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've got Santa Claus locked up in there. I want to be sure he stops here first.
Yes, sir?
Is he in that big red box in the corner, or is he under your bed with all those other packages?
Young man, how do you know what's in my room?
I shinnied up the big tree by your window and looked in.
Leroy.
Leroy and I are really looking forward to Christmas, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Did you shinny up the tree too, Bertie?
No, sir, not me. I don't know what's in that room. I can't even get in there with the vacuum cleaner.
Well, the room will be cleaned out after Christmas. And so will I.
Yes.
Hey, Unc, guess what your girl is going to do at school?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'll thank you not to refer to Miss Henshaw as my girl.
Okay. Sweetie?
Leroy. She's your school principal.
Okay.
Well, what's she going to do, Leroy?
She's going to have a tree in the gymnasium with presents for all the needy kids in town.
Oh?
That's nice.
Yeah, some of us kids are going to help collect presents.
I tried to get Irene on the phone all day. Figured she was busy with something.
Yeah, she and Dr. Olson have been busy, all right.
Dr. Olson?
He's been huddling with her all day.
Uh-oh.
What does that pushy intern have to do with it?
Oh, he just offered to help her arrange everything. She has to rustle up a lot of gifts somehow.
Well, the only reason Olson is helping is to be near my girl. Yeah, I mean, Miss Henshaw.
Dr. Olson's a nice guy, Unc.
Yes.
Leroy, you can't sell that to Mr. Gildersleeve.
No, indeed. Olson isn't doing this just because it's Christmas. He's catering to Irene. Just trying to cut me out.
Are you jealous, Unc?
Most certainly not. But what does Clarence Olson know about organizing a thing like this? He's not a businessman. He's just an intern studying to be a surgeon.
He's got this operation sewed up.
Well, I wouldn't stoop to such obvious tactics.
Oh, no, sir.
But maybe I should go over to Irene's this evening and offer to help before Olson bungles it.
Yes, sir. I think you should get into a huddle with it, too.
Bertie and Leroy thought I was a little jealous of that curly-haired intern. Well, maybe I am.
Hello, Throckmorton. Come in.
Yeah, thank you, Irene.
Let me take your hat and coat?
Yeah, I'll just put them right here in the chair. And that way, you and I'll have to sit on the couch.
Oh, you're quite a schemer, aren't you?
You bet. Yeah. I tried to get you on the phone today.
Oh?
Leroy tells me you're having a big Christmas party for the kids.
Yes, I thought it might be nice.
Yeah, I'm a little hurt because you didn't ask me to help.
I'm sorry, Throckmorton. Clarence Olson volunteered first, and I know you're a beau who doesn't like to play second fiddle.
Of course, I don't want to say anything against Olson, but this is a job for a businessman.
Yes, I realize it'll take a lot of doing. He wants to come over tonight and make plans.
Yeah, I know what his plan is.
Besides, I'm here first.
Well, Throckmorton, we need all the help we can get. We have to decorate the tree, collect toys to put under it. Some of them will have to be mended and painted.
Yeah, that must have been Olson's idea.
No, it's mine.
Well, that Olson's such a sneaky character, he probably made you think it was your idea.
Throckmorton, Clarence never talks about you.
He doesn't?
In fact, he never mentions your name.
That's the worst thing he could say about me.
Well, how would you stage this Christmas party and provide the toys?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd organize the thing. I'd get some money behind it.
Whose?
Well, I've been thinking about that. With my influence, I could put the Jolly Boys Club behind this project.
Oh?
The city has a vacant lot we can use. We'll sell Christmas trees and buy presents with the profits.
Why, I hadn't thought of selling trees.
Say, Irene, the Kraft choristers are in town for a concert. Yeah, I'll bet I can get them to come out and sing a couple of songs.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, there's a way of doing these things, Irene, if you just come to the right party. Just imagine rows of trees, people flocking in to buy them.
Oh, Throckmorton, you've got me buying the toys already.
Yeah, and we'll have mistletoe for sale. Plenty of mistletoe.
Yes. If I know you, you'll have mistletoe.
You bet. Just imagine I'm holding some over your head right now.
Well, I have a good imagination.
No. I love Christmas. Right, George, I sure made a hit with Irene. She likes an executive-type fellow who gets things done. Well, I better stop in Peavey's and start telling the Jolly Boys the plans I've made for them. I'll have to assign them certain days to work on the lot. Hello, Peavey.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you?
Peavey, I want to talk to you.
If all you want to do is talk, I'll just keep on with what I'm doing.
So I was just talking to Irene Henshaw.
6 and 2 are 8 and 3 are 11.
Peavey, what are you doing?
I'm making out my bank deposit slip. 3, 7, and 10.
Can't that wait?
Mr. Gildersleeve, do you want to buy something?
No.
I'm dealing with people who have bought something. 14 and 3 and 17. That's $187.
Peavey, listen to me. That isn't important.
Do you have anything to say that's worth $187?
Oh, my goodness. Look, I have a great idea.
You don't say.
Yes, indeed. The Jolly Boys are going to sell Christmas trees to raise money.
Well, we can use it. We've got $2.69 in the treasury.
Peavey, we're going to spend this money on the kids.
Suits me. I'm a bigger kid as anybody around Christmas time.
Yes.
I got the Christmas spirit this morning. Before I left for the pharmacy, I chucked Mrs. Peavey under the chin. She said I was a big, overgrown kid.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, here's Chief Gates.
Hello, Peavey.
Hello, Chief.
Chief Gates, just the man I want to see.
Not many people want to see the chief of police. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, I do.
Just because it's Christmas, I'm not tearing up any parking tickets.
No, I don't want any favors. I just want you to sell some Christmas trees for me. I've taken on a little project for the Jolly Boys.
Well, this is news to me.
Yeah, well, it's to me, too, and I'm president of the club.
Now, don't be offended because I come up with the good ideas. I promised Miss Henshaw we'd sell trees to buy presents for her Christmas party.
Why, I'm not invited to her party.
No, it's for needy kids, Chief.
Oh, count me in.
Fine. Now, I know where to get a truckload of trees. We'll put them on that city lot on the corner of 4th and Main.
That should be a busy corner around Christmas. It's right across the street from the loan company.
All right. I'll have the trees there tomorrow, and we Jolly Boys will be on hand to sell them.
Oh, I have to run the pharmacy, Mr. Gildersleeve. Of course, I could slip over for a little while after I close at night.
Look, Peavey, I'm going to make arrangements to be there.
Yeah, but you don't have anything to do. You have a political job.
Oh. What about you, Chief?
I can't run off and leave nobody at jail but the prisoners. Those fellows get lonesome.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, let's not forget it's Christmas. And those fellows are away from home.
You all right?
I'll drop over when I can. What about the judge?
He's trying a case in Center City this week.
What about Floyd Munson?
Well, Floyd's got a barber shop to run, but I'm sure he'll help out at night.
And I'll be there right after the prisoners go to sleep.
Oh, fine. Looks like none of you fellows can come over until all the customers have gone to bed.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Yes, we're willing. But I understood Dr. Olson was going to help Miss Henshaw with the party.
Peavey, you know Irene would rather I take the initiative than Dr. Olson.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Swell location for selling trees, Unc.
Yeah, let's set up some more, Leroy. You hold this tree while I nail on the stand.
Why don't you hold the tree while I nail it on the stand?
Oh, no, you've hit my thumb 3 times.
Well, that shows I need the practice.
Hey. Just hold the tree.
Okay.
Yeah, that does it.
Well, that's enough trees, Unc. You haven't sold a one.
Yeah, they'll start moving after the craft choristers come out here and sing a couple of carols.
You're really coming, huh?
Yeah. We'll have to get these lights strung around before they show up.
Hello there.
Well, hello, Irene.
Hi, Miss Henshaw.
Hello, Leroy. I thought I'd come over to see how many trees you sold.
Tell her, Unc.
Yeah, well, you were just getting set up. I'm having to do this single-handed.
Oh, what happened to the Jolly Boys?
Well, they can't give as much time to it as I'm getting.
This is a fine thing you're doing for those children.
Yeah.
He's not doing it for the kids. He's doing it for you.
Young man, string the lights.
Sure. Hey, Unc, there's the craft bus.
Oh, you are going to have carols.
You bet.
Hey, look at all the people.
Throckmorton, you're a genius.
Well, I'll do until a genius comes along.
Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, hello, Mr. Heaston. This is Miss Henshaw. She's sponsoring the Christmas party.
How do you do, Miss Henshaw?
How do you do? It was nice of you and the group to come, Mr. Heaston.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We'll be ready to go in a moment, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Great. Fire when ready.
Hey, Unc.
Yes, Leroy?
Do you suppose they'd mind if I went over and stood with them and helped them sing?
Leroy, we're trying to attract people, not frighten them away.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He's going to make an announcement, I think.
We are happy to present the Craft Choristers under the direction of Gerhard Schroth. Their first selection will be It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old, from angels bending near the earth to touch their hearts of gold. These are the earth and will to men from heaven, our gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Still through the golden skies they come with peaceful wings unfurled, and still their heavenly music flows o'er all the weary world. Above the sad and lonely plains they bear not hovering wing, and never o'er its fabled sounds the blessed angels sing. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven, our gracious King. Oh, rest beside the weary road, and hear the angels sing.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, they're pretty good. All craft employees, too.
Well, we're attracting a crowd, all right.
Yeah, I'll say. He said they'd sing a couple of numbers, and then we'll start selling trees.
And now we invite you to listen to Ding Dong Bells.
Should I try to sell some trees while they're singing?
Listen, Leroy.
Ding dong bells, ding dong bells, ding dong merrily and ding dong bells, ding dong bells are ringing.
some customers, Throckmorton.
Heck, I'm going to start selling Christmas trees. Right this way for your Christmas trees.
Yeah, look at them pick out their trees. Why, George, the old world seems pretty uncooperative at times. But when you try to do something good, a lot of people get behind you.
Christmas is always a memorable time for everyone, and especially for the great man, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. He's been helping Miss Irene Henshaw with plans for her Christmas party for needy children. As school principal, Miss Henshaw makes quite a point of giving credit where credit is due, and she isn't forgetting the great Gildersleeve's contribution, because he won't let her.
What did I tell you, Irene? I knew I'd put this thing over big. Didn't I tell you?
You told me.
Here, look on the lot here. We're practically sold out of Christmas trees the first day. I told you we didn't need that Clarence Olson.
You told me.
Well, while there's a lull, let's count all the money we've taken in.
I've already counted it. I got my pockets full of it.
Leroy, I will carry the money.
Oh, sure.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Olson.
Clarence, I've been wondering what happened to you.
Hello, Olson.
I got tied up at the hospital, Irene.
What'd you do, bandage yourself to a bed?
Well, you aren't glad to see me, are you, Throckmorton?
We've managed to get along without you. Just look at the money we've taken in for Irene's party.
We've done surprisingly well, Clarence.
Yes, it surprises me, too, Irene, especially with him in charge.
Watch it, Olson.
Give me the bankroll, Gildersleeve. I'll go buy presents for all the kids.
You keep your sterilized pinkies off my money.
All right. You buy the gifts, and I'll present them at the tree.
You'll present them?
Well, I was to play Santa Claus, wasn't I, Irene?
Well...
Look, Olson, I'll be Santa Claus.
But, Gildersleeve, you've done so much. You told us that yourself.
You bet. And after I've knocked the home run, you aren't going to pose for the picture.
Now, please, boys.
I volunteered to help Irene raise money for her Christmas party long before you and the Jolly Boys came in.
Well, when I came in, you went out.
I won't argue with you, but I'll be Santa Claus.
Oh,
Hey, Unc, I sold another tree.
Good for you, my boy.
Wonderful, Leroy.
Yeah. Unc, hadn't we better connect the lights?
Well, I haven't quite figured out how to attach the wires to the switch.
Oh, I'll do that, Gildersleeve. I undoubtedly understand wiring better than you.
Shouldn't you call an electrician?
No, Irene, I can do it.
Hands off, Olson. I'll do it.
Well, I wouldn't do it while standing in that slushy snow.
When I need advice from you...
The Christmas tree lot's a big success, Bertie.
I sure am glad.
Well, it was planning, organization, know-how.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of know-how, you should have seen Unc when he tried to connect the lights on the lot.
Don't tell me they wouldn't light up.
No, but Unc did.
Well, I was just nervous. That Olson breathing down my neck, telling me how to do this, how to do that, trying to cop the credit. He even wants to be Santa Claus, Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Who's it going to be, Unc? You or Dr. Olson?
I know who's going to be Santa Claus, Leroy. I may as well go up in the attic right now and get out his suit, because I know who's going to be Santa Claus.
Yeah, good idea, Bertie. Even if that pushy intern did ask Irene first.
I don't know who asked first, but I know who's going to be Santa Claus.
Yeah, well, Bertie.
I don't know what's wrapped up in them packages, and I don't know what's under the tree, and I don't know what's in the stocking, but I know who's going to be Santa Claus.
You think I should, Bertie?
I don't know who should, but I know who is, so I'm going up in the attic and get this suit.
Well, as long as Bertie insists on getting the suit, I'm going to insist on wearing it. Yeah, the way to do this is to get the Jolly Boys to back me up. After all, it has become a Jolly Boys project. Olson has nothing to do with it. Hello, Peavey.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Chief.
Hello, Commissioner. We were over at the lot last night, but there were no trees left to sell.
Well, I did a good job, if I do say so myself.
What's the meeting about, Mr. Gildersleeve?
As you fellas know, I took this out of Olson's hands and raised the money for the gifts myself. Now, guess who wants to be Santa Claus?
You?
Well, why shouldn't I? I made it a Jolly Boys project. I sold the trees. Why shouldn't I pass out the presents?
Oh, you've done so much, Mr. Gildersleeve. I think it's time I got on the job.
What do you mean?
I'd like to donate my services and be Santa Claus.
Peavey, you don't look like a Santa Claus.
I do to Mrs. Peavey. She considers me a very convincing Santa Claus.
Well, she's prejudiced. You're not big enough for Santa Claus.
Well, I can tie on a couple of pillows. I'd rather wear them at Christmas than to have to carry them around all year like you do.
Now, wait a minute, fellas. Why don't we arbitrate this thing? I'll be Santa Claus.
Chief, that's not the way you arbitrate.
But Santa's supposed to be a jolly fellow. Well, I've got the voice for it. Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, brother.
You sound like a walrus lost in the fog.
Well, if the chief of police can't play Santa Claus to those kids, you fellas better not run afoul of the law next year.
No, fiddlesticks. Let's not have a Santa Claus if it's going to cause an uproar.
No Santa Claus?
I think Peavey has a good idea.
Well, all right. I'll call Olson and tell him we've all agreed not to have a Santa Claus. What do you say, fellows?
In the interest of harmony, no Santa Claus.
No Santa Claus.
No Santa Claus. They don't know I have my fingers crossed. Yeah, I'll slip in the back door of the gym so nobody will see me.
Is that you, Unc?
Yep, old Santa in person.
I thought you fellas weren't having a Santa.
Well, I couldn't disappoint a bunch of kids just because we adults had a squabble. Leroy, how did you know me in this Santa suit?
You're the only knock-kneed Santa in town.
Young man.
Only kidding.
Has Irene shown up?
Yeah, she's inside arranging the presents under the tree.
She'll be surprised.
Yeah. Miss Henshaw, look what the reindeers brought.
Why, Throckmorton.
Hello, Irene.
Aren't you cheating a little on the boys?
Well, as I told Leroy.
Greetings from the North Pole.
Hey, another Santa.
Why, Clarence Olson.
Olson, that's a sneaky trick.
That you behind that beard, Gildersleeve? I thought it was Father Time.
Yes. What a snide Santa Claus.
What is this, a convention? Here comes two more.
Hello, Miss Henshaw.
That sounds like Chief Gates.
Ho, 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 ho.
I'll bet you don't know who I am.
Why, Mr. Peavey.
Peavey, I thought you fellas weren't going to dress up like Santa Claus.
Well,
Look at you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm really the only one who has any business in costume. I volunteered first.
Gentlemen, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, your suits don't fit. And all of you look like a bunch of phonies.
That's just what they're being, Leroy. Phonies.
What's that?
Before I say anything else, I want to thank you. for all you've done to help me. But somewhere along the line, we've kind of lost sight of the goal.
But, Irene...
Now, we started out to provide a good Christmas for needy children, not to satisfy your inflated egos.
Well, Irene...
Why don't you listen?
The children are waiting to come in. So I want you men to take off those silly suits, roll up your sleeves, and pass out the packages. It isn't the suit and funny whiskers that make the Christmas spirit. It's what's inside.
By George, she's right. Hey, Olson?
Yes, she's right.
Well, Mrs. Peavey didn't really like me in this suit anyway.
Well, I guess I'm the biggest offender. I was so anxious for the kids to know what I'm doing, I wore my badge on the outside of my Santa suit.
Hey, Unc, before the kids come, shall I light the tree?
Well, we've had the light thrown on us. Let's light up the tree.
Merry Christmas, Throckmorton.
Merry Christmas, Irene. And all you would-be Santa Clauses. There's Gildersleeve again, friends. You know, we have a lot of fun all during the year, and we hope we're able to pass some of it on to you. But I suppose Christmas time is the nicest time of the year, full of gaiety and good cheer, a time for friendliness and peace. All of us who bring you this show, the men and women at Kraft, the entire Gildersleeve cast, and myself, wish you a holiday season filled with all these things. A very Merry Christmas from all of us to all of you.
Transcribed. Hear You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx on the NBC Radio Network.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Oh Gee, Oh Joy. Last week on this program, I mentioned something that caused a good deal of comment. I said, a waxed house is a clean house, and a clean house is a sanitary, healthful one. Do you remember? Well, it seems that quite a few people had not fully realized that when they wax their floors, furniture, and woodwork regularly with genuine Johnson's wax, They are actually doing a good deal more than protecting and beautifying those surfaces. Yes, they're making their homes healthier as well as pleasanter places to live in. You see, the wax seals a surface against dirt and moisture. Dust and dirt do not adhere easily to a wax-polished area. So regular waxing removes many of the sources of germs. And besides, it's so much easier to clean waxed floors, baseboards, and furniture. Especially in these times, let Johnson's paste, liquid, or cream wax help keep your home sanitary and beautiful. Well, about this time of the, quote, happy, unquote, Yuletide season, every husband begins to get that cornered rat look about his eyes. But the Squire of 79 Wistful Vista looks even more desperate than that. Something is definitely perturbing our hero. For further details, we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
And furthermore, I'm the dumbest, short-sightedest, dim-wittedest, stumble-bummetest, empty-headedest, feather-brainedest droop that ever didn't know enough to come in out of a tornado.
Well, just as you say.
If my head was small enough to fit my brains, I'd be getting telegrams from Ripley.
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
They say Washington's home at Mount Vernon has got a beautiful big stoop, but you got a bigger and a beautifuler stoop, and I don't mean anybody but me.
You just say that.
I got the IQ of a microbe. I think when I die, I'll leave my skull to the Smithsonian for a doorknob.
How charming.
As dumb as I am, it's a wonder to me I ever got out of the 3rd grade.
It's a wonder to me you ever got in.
You ain't whistling Dixie there either, I think I'll give myself back to the Indians. I'm the biggest numbskull that ever...
All right, McGee. I'll admit you're a fascinating subject, but what's this all about?
It's about me. That's what it's all about. I'm the stupidest one.
All right. For the sake of argument, let's say you're completely brainless.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'll find it sooner or later.
Find what?
That $15. I was saving it for your Christmas present. I hid it last summer so I wouldn't be tempted to spend it, and now I can't find it. If that don't make me the weak-minded dumb...
Now, stop pacing up and down. Ours is a beautiful union, and it doesn't need any pickets.
Pickets are still laying there. And I'm getting desperate. Only 8 more shopping days before Christmas, and I've looked every place.
Calm yourself. What man can hide, man can find.
Yeah.
Where do you usually hide your extra money?
I don't usually have any extra money. But when I did, I used to put it in the sugar bowl.
Did you look there?
Yes, but I'm using it now to keep stuff more valuable than money.
What?
Sugar.
Did you go through all your old clothes?
And if it wouldn't be there. I distinctly remember tucking it away in some safe place. Oh, let me see. Where could... Hey, hand me that blue vase on the mantel.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah. Oh, no, it ain't here. This is where I've been keeping my cellophane collection. Sure got a mess of it, haven't I?
What are you saving cellophane for?
I don't know. I guess I just got tired of collecting cigar bands. String. Seemed to be more future in cellophane. Doggone it, this makes me sore.
Was it in $5 bills, dearie?
It was a 10 and a 5 in a white envelope. And I wrote on the outside of it, do not touch until 10 days before Christmas, and this means me.
Well, I'm a pretty good housekeeper, if I do say so myself, and I haven't seen anything of it.
Well, if the worst comes to worst, I'll get an internal revenue collector in here. Them guys could find money in a caraway seed. Now, let me think a minute. If I could just remember...
Come in. Abigail Uppington. Hello, darling.
Oh, how do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Where's your Santa Claus costume? Or aren't you christening the Kringle today?
I don't go on duty till 4 o'clock, Mr. McGee. But what, may I ask, is the matter with you?
What do you mean, Abigail?
Well, look at him, my dear. He looks positively haggard. I only hope the government doesn't catch him with those Chevrolet tires under his eyes.
I ain't been sleeping good, Uppy. I got pernicious insomnia. I'm worried.
Yes. He hid $15 for Christmas shopping, Abigail, and now he can't find it. For 3 days now, he's been prowling around the house like a mouse after a cat.
You mean a cat after a mouse?
In this house, anything can happen.
I had a case like that once.
Uppy, you sound Ozzier than Nelson. What happened with you?
Oh, I was simply frantic because I thought I'd mislaid a ruby and emerald bracelet. But the solution was so simple, it was ridiculous.
Well, what was the solution? Maybe it'll give McGee an idea.
I suddenly realized I had never had a ruby and emerald bracelet. Isn't that silly?
And I thought I was dumb. Uppy, you're as giddy as a steeplejack full of applejack.
I'm afraid I was at that time, Mr. McGee. You see, I was just a girl out of finishing school and madly in love with a handsome young lieutenant.
Oh, sure.
Well, there was something awfully romantic about those Civil War uniforms, Abigail.
Yes, indeed, they certainly were. I beg your pardon, Mr. McGee.
Don't mention it, Abigail. But what girls' school did you go to?
Oh, Ward Belmont, my dear, in Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, I can close my eyes now and smell the magnolias on the campus.
That's my hair, Uppy. I just come from the barber shop.
It is Magnolia. It's Jockey Club.
Well, do remind me, my dear, sometime to show you the pictures of my class. I was captain of the croquet team, you know.
No. Well, call me Virginia and watch me reel. So you all were the captain of the croquet team, was you, honey child?
Now, please, Mr. McGee, I have only the most charming memories of the South, and I found Southern men were always most gentlemanly.
Well, I guess that'll dim your northern lights, McGee.
That must account for my good manners, Uppy. My grandfather wore the Southern uniform, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sure. He was a conductor on the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, What was it you wanted to see me about?
Oh, I just wanted to tell you about the most marvelous fortune teller.
Fortune teller? Blah. Those bargain basement gypsies couldn't foretell the future of a blue-eyed blonde with the fleet in.
Oh. But they're fun, dearie. They're fun.
Ah, fun my clavicle. Dark man going across your path, going to take a long journey, going to get a letter. You'll find your diamond ring under the... Hey, maybe she can tell me where my $15 is. Come on. What are we waiting for? Get your hat, Molly. Where is this fortune teller, Uppy?
It's upstairs.
Never mind, I'll find it. Come on, Molly. We'll see you later, Uppy. Why didn't I think of this before? Oh, boy, that $15 is as good as found. Right now. Why, those people are wonderful. I know of a case where a guy lost a big strong once and those... Get a load of this reception room, Molly. Boy, what a dump.
Well, this was your idea, not mine.
Why do fortune tellers always live in joints like this? If they can see into the future, why don't they make a killing at the races and live in a classy apartment?
Well, maybe they can't get a crystal ball big enough to see a horse in.
Well, this one sure ought to know her onions. She's cooked enough of them around here.
Don't be so critical. You know, Madam X ought to be calling us in any time now. You know, we've been waiting here 25 minutes.
Madam X. Probably an old gypsy named McGillicuddy. Not that I care what her name is if she can slap herself into a trance and find my $15.
You know, we'd have saved time if we just consulted Uncle Dennis.
Ah, what does he know about fortune telling?
Well, I don't know, but he certainly lives in an atmosphere of departed spirits. You know, last night I came into the hall and I found him balancing himself on the banister.
Yeah? What'd he say?
He said, "Niece, your escalator has run down."
At it again, huh? I gave him a lecture about that just the other day.
What'd he do?
He just sat tight.
Mr. McGee, I will see you now, please.
Oh, thank you, madam. Come on, dearie. We'll see what fate has in store for you. If fate still has a store, which I doubt with things being so hard to get.
Oh, I'm ready, sis. Hop onto your broomstick.
This way, please.
Oh, incense.
I think I preferred the onions. Hey, can't we have a little light in here, sis?
No. The darkness, she is desirable for proper contact with the forces of the unknown.
Oh.
Sit down, please.
Oh, thank you. Wow. You see, the reason we came, Madam X, is because...
Do not tell me. I will tell you. Your husband is in trouble, no?
My husband is in trouble, yes.
Hey, how'd you know, sis? Can you read my mind?
Yes. It is very simple.
Huh?
No, that's what he's been telling himself all day, madam.
How do we go about this now, sis? Do you read the stars, feel the bumps on my head, look at my palm, or do we just sit around and strain our eyes at each other?
No. For $5, I will answer 3 questions.
$5? Isn't that a little expensive?
Yes. Now you have 2 more questions.
We better not waste any time, Molly. Here's the question, sis. Where's the $15 I was saving for my wife's Christmas present?
It is right where you are putting it. Now, you have 1 more question.
Heavenly days. We're not making much progress, are we?
No. Now, for another $5, I will answer 3 more questions.
Oh, no, you don't, sis. Come on, Molly. I ain't going to pay her $10 to find 15. Here, sis, here's your $5.
Thank you. You must come again and see Madame X when you are troubled with business, love, or marriage.
Who, us? Do we look that silly? Do you think we like to be gypped?
That is 3 more questions. I will answer the first one by
Come
saying...
on, Molly, come on, quick.
Well, my goodness, McGee. We didn't get much satisfaction in there, did we?
Well, yes. She at least says that dough is still where I put it. That's some comfort. Well, come on, let's go home and see.
Well, hello there, folks. Say, have you been consulting Madam X?
Yes, if you call it that, Mr. Wilcox.
The way that dame clips you, she ought to be a barber in a boot camp. You going to consult her, Junior?
Sure. I was in here last week for advice.
About what?
Oh, business. I asked her how the future of Johnson's Wax stacked up. She said it had a very bright and sparkling future.
Oh.
She said that in times like these, when conservation was so important, more housewives than ever would preserve and protect their floors with Johnson's Wax.
And what was the second question, my fellow chump?
Well, then I asked her which of the Johnson Wax features I should emphasize, and she said health. Because Johnson's Wax seals the surface against dust and dirt and dampness and gives the housewife so much extra rest and leisure.
Oh, and the third question?
That's where I made my mistake. I asked her if my pipe bothered her.
And she said yes and soaked you another fin. Boy, what a racket.
Say, why on earth are you coming back, Mr. Wilcox, if you knew you'd been cheated?
I want to ask her if she took my watch.
Mr. Wilcox, I will see you now.
I'll say you will, baby. So long, folks.
What?
Well, let's get on home, McGee. We'll turn the house inside out when we find that $15.
And believe me, the next time I hide something, I'm going to hide it in plain sight. This'll teach me a lesson. If I wasn't such a sap-headed, beetle-brained, lop-eared, low-browed, slithering... Bucketest tricks I ever heard of anybody.
Well, now that we're home, where'd we better start, McGee?
Oh, I don't know. I remember putting it in a place where I could lay hands on it at a minute's notice.
You say the $15 was in a white envelope.
Yes.
Well, that shouldn't be so hard to find. Would you put it behind one of the pictures?
No, I looked behind all the pictures this morning. I turned Whistler's mother around so many times she almost fell out of her chair.
Say, maybe you put it under a rug. No, I've had them up too many times. I'd have seen it.
Oh, why can't I remember? I must have a skull full of rice pudding. I'm the biggest drip this side of Niagara Falls. The only thing that keeps my ears apart is my big fat mouth.
Oh. No, McGee. Anybody can forget things.
Nobody can forget them as easy as me. It's exasperating. I'm getting so I'm afraid to shake hands for fear I'll walk off without my arm. Here, I thought I was a pretty bright guy, and I couldn't pass the intelligence test of a Mongolian basket weaver. Why of all the dirty...
for goodness sakes, if you'd stop scolding yourself for a few minutes, maybe we could get something done.
Well, my gosh, well...
Now, listen, here's what we better do. I'll start with the upstairs and go through every room, and you look around down here, and between us we ought to cover every inch of this house.
Okay, but I...
Now, stop your arguing. Anyway, you're not as dumb as you claim. You're really pretty smart.
I am?
Yes.
Oh.
Or you wouldn't have hidden that $15 from yourself. Why, when it comes to money, and I hope we do...
Come in.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Oldtimer.
Hello, daughter. Hello, Johnny. I just stopped in to say goodbye. Goodbye. Hey, Oldtimer, come back here. What's the matter, kid?
You can't yell goodbye at us and then rush away like that. Where are you going and for how long?
Yeah, and when will you be back and for how long?
Going to Chicago, kids. Gonna be gone for an indefinite period.
Oh, what do you mean indefinite period?
I mean I won't be back till the afternoon of January 5th. But whether 3 o'clock or 3:15 is indefinite.
Fly?
Hey!
Fly.
Oh, well, I'll hold still and you swat him, Johnny.
No, my husband means are you going to fly to Chicago or take the train?
Ain't decided, daughter. Thought maybe I'd get up early in the morning, throw the saddle on old Betsy, sleep on her back, and ride her all the way to Chi.
Well, that's a long trip for a horse.
Who's a horse?
Why, isn't Betsy?
No, Betsy's my bicycle. On the other hand, kids, I'll likely take the steam cars. I love trains. Used to be a railroad man in my younger days.
What'd you do on the railroad?
What do you mean, what did I do, Johnny? I had my own.
You mean you owned a railroad?
Sure did, daughter. 18 cars, 2 engines, and 72 foot of track. Run from the dining room through the front hall, back to the kitchen and round into the dining room again. Stopped at the umbrella stand, the piano stool, the refrigerator, and the cook, exception Mondays, which was the cook's day off, at the piano stool on signal only. But I had a bad wreck in 1889 when Papa come home late one night, tripped over the coal car.
Oh, tough luck.
Yes. Now I never see an engine with a tender behind without thinking of what Papa did to me that night. Well, so long, kids. Merry Christmas.
The Kingsmen sing I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Children sing, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen. Sleigh bells in the softly falling snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright. May all your Christmases be white, and all year through, may every wish you make for Christmas
I'm about ready to give up. You certainly hid that $15 well.
Yes, and I could kick myself around the block for it, too. If I'm not the silliest
Yes, we've been all over that. Are you sure you had $15 in the first place?
Sure, I'm sure. A 10 and a 5. And they were earmarked for your Christmas present, too.
They were what?
Earmarked. That's what the government does with money, so that's what I do.
How?
Well, I put ink all over my ears and pressed both bills against them. I think the theory is that no two people have ears alike. You know, like fingerprints, only easier to see.
Well, that must keep Mr. Morgenthau pretty busy.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Now, listen, let's just sit down here and reconstruct what you did when you hid the money. What did you do first?
Well, first I got me an envelope.
Come in.
Whose car is that out in front?
The black one? Well, that's a kind of a combination ownership, Bud. Me and the finance company.
I see you have an ace sticker on the windshield. Do you do any pleasure driving?
Take him for a ride around the block, McGee. That'll answer that question. In that car, sir, you get more pleasure walking.
And I don't quite understand
Let me see your draft registration card, please.
Okay, here you are, Bud. I'm not only a little over age, but I got a lot of collateral dependents. I got collateral at the First National, the Morris Plan, the building in Long...
Never mind. How much coffee have you got?
Oh, well, about a half a pound.
Sugar?
No, thanks, just cream.
Now, look here, Bud. I don't mind answering questions.
McGee, this is war.
Yeah. Sure, we read about it in the papers, but what...
I only have a few more questions, then I'm through. Have you been buying war bonds?
Bud, we've been buying war bonds till we're red, white, and blue in the face. And I've licked the back of so many war-saving stamps, everything I eat tastes like glue. Now, if you don't mind...
I hope you're not complaining.
Certainly we complain. Everybody complains, and it doesn't mean a thing. And now, if you please explain
McGee,
why...
I see you have cuffs on those trousers. Did you buy that suit after restrictions were put on clothing?
No, I didn't. And while I don't like to be personal, Bud, there are still a few people who need a cuff on the pants. Will you please tell us just who you...
Just one more thing. The government doesn't want you to buy anything you don't need. They're trying to keep prices at a reasonable level, encourage buying bonds and paying off debts. We want this country to be on a sound financial footing after this war is over. Now, remember that.
Just what is your connection with the government?
Oh, my goodness, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Tolliver. I just moved into the brick house down the street.
Oh, I'm glad to know you, Tolliver. This is my wife,
How
Molly.
do you do, I'm sure. Just what department of the government are you in, Mr. Tolliver?
Oh, I'm not in the government, Mrs. McGee. I run the hamburger wagon down there at 14th and Oak. And I must say we serve the finest...
Damn, Braddock, but what right do you got come busting in here and asking all them silly questions?
Well, I think when a man moves into a new neighborhood, he naturally wants to know all about his neighbors. Certainly is nice to have met you folks. Good night.
People I ever
Tells
met.
me I'm going to have trouble with that mug. He's going to get in my hair, and there ain't enough room in it for anybody but me. A self-appointed cop.
Oh, never mind, McGee. Let's concentrate on finding your $15. Now, what did you do after you got the envelope?
Well, now, let me think. I put the money in the envelope and sealed it.
Yes.
Then I started looking for a hiding place.
Yes.
First, I thought I'd hide it in the hall closet. And then I says to myself, no, I says. I'm going to clean out that closet one of these days. So I takes the envelope.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Oh, Mr. Wimp.
Hi, Wimp, old man. Why the suitcase? You running away from home again?
Oh, no, Mr. McGee. I'm going to Chicago on a business trip for about 3 weeks.
Oh? Is your wife going with you, Mr. Wimple?
No, she isn't, Mrs. McGee. I'm going to be terribly lonesome without her, too. Ouch.
What's the matter?
I was crossing my fingers so hard I almost broke them.
Well, what kind of a business trip is this, Mr. Wimple?
I'm going to see my publishers, Mrs. McGee. The ones who publish all my poetry.
Oh.
They sent me a telegram saying they wanted to see me.
Gee, they must think a lot of you, Wimp.
Yes. They wanted to publish my picture. And I sent them some, and they wired right back. We don't believe it. Come in person. Wasn't that nice?
So you won't be here for Christmas, Mr. Wimple?
No, but Sweetie Face gave me my Christmas present before I left. Look, a check for $25.
Say, that's great, Wimp.
Isn't it, though? She says if I'm a good boy all year, that next Christmas she'll sign it.
She might even throw in the blotter.
Why, that old saber-tooth. I thought of a swell gift I'd like to send her, Wimp, but I hate to ask anybody to deliver it.
Oh, I'd be very happy to take it over, Mr. McGee.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. It might explode before you got there.
Not if you timed it right to the second.
What did you give your wife for Christmas, Mr. Wimple?
A great big bottle of cologne, Mrs. McGee, to be opened on Christmas morning.
Cologne, eh? What kind, Wimp?
I mixed it up myself, Mr. McGee. Mostly carbolic acid.
Why, Mr. Wimple, that's liable to take the skin right off her face.
Yeah.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
3 weeks away from that gunner's mate of his, and Wimp will be a new man.
Poor little fella.
I'll be a poor little fella myself if I don't find that $15. If I wasn't such a numbskull, such a hopeless dope in a blue ribbon boot,
Stop it now.
Huh?
Let's take up where we left off.
Okay.
After you decided against hiding it in the closet, what'd you do?
Doggone it, that's what I can't remember. All I know is I put it someplace where I'd remember it just before Christmas.
Well, I'm sorry, McGee. I can't imagine where in the dickens you...
Dickens! That's it. Now I remember. Here it is, right here in this book.
What book?
Dickens' Christmas Carol.
Whatever made you hide your money in that?
Safest place in the world. Nobody ever opens that book till Christmas time.
Winter weather is hard on our floors. We might as well admit it. When snow and slush and wet get tracked in, the floor surfaces need the protection of a tough coat of Johnson's wax. If you examined a waxed floor under a magnifying glass, you'd see that it's the wax that gets all the wear. The surface underneath is safe. And don't forget that with genuine Johnson's wax, you can touch up heavy traffic spots whenever necessary without having to re-wax the entire floor. Don't forget either that there are 100 extra labor-saving uses for wax around your home. Windowsills, Venetian blinds, luggage, shoes and boots, furniture and woodwork. In these times when we have to take better care of the things we have, wax is a helpful ally.
That was a kind of a clever stunt at that, hiding this $15 in Dickens' Christmas Carol. Maybe I ain't such a fool after all.
No.
Huh?
You really have some bright moments, McGee.
Yeah, I guess I do at that. Well, all's well that ends well. Here, you keep the $15 for me. I gotta throw this envelope in the wastebasket.
Well, this isn't $15. This is the envelope.
Huh? Oh, my gosh. I tore up the money.
What?
Oh, if I ain't the worst muddle-headed. More than ever should have had $15 in the first place. I'm the dumbest, dilliest, dim-wittedest, good night.
Good night, all.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Wimple heard on our program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnston Wax Finishes for the home and industry, inviting you all to join us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by Billy Mills Orchestra, and featuring tonight a very special musical score written by Ken Darby, arranger and director of the King's Men. And the show opens with Who? Instrument like a thermometer for measuring increased activity and hustle and bustle around the house, it would certainly kick over the traces in this week before Christmas. What with shopping and cooking and tree trimming and being an air raid warden besides, there's certainly lots to be done. But in spite of how busy you are, you still want your home to look its best for the holidays. Have you ever stopped to think how useful wax is at such a time? Truth is, if your floors, furniture, and woodwork have been regularly protected with genuine Johnson's wax, that special holiday cleaning can be done in short order. A quick dusting and polishing, a touch-up with wax where needed, and your rooms are glowing with mellow beauty, ready for the visits of your family and friends. For over 50 years, Johnson's Wax has helped brighten homes at the Christmas season. A couple of nights before Christmas, and all through the house at 79 Wistful Vista, not a creature was stirring, except Fibber McGee and Molly.
McGee, I don't like to seem repetitious, but hadn't you better get your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, Christmas shopping. Every year the same thing. Makes me sick.
Yes, I know, dearie. We go through this every year.
What do you mean?
You howl and scowl, and then the day before Christmas, the spirit hits you like a baseball bat. And you do everything but grow a beard and climb down chimneys.
Oh, gee whiz. Christmas is getting too commercial. It's getting so...
Sure. We ought to have rubber stamps made for this whole conversation.
What you mean again?
Well, every year you say Christmas is getting too commercial, and every year I have to scold you for spending too much.
Who, me? I just spend what I have to get by, that's all. I go along with the mob. It ain't any beautiful Yuletide thoughts with me, baby.
Oh, go on.
No tinsel snow gets in my eyes. If I spend any dough, it's just because it's the easiest way out.
Now, listen, McGee, you're a fraud. You're a phony. Why, you're so scared somebody will find out you're sentimental, you act like a dead-end kid.
Sentimental my clavicle. The whole thing is a lot of tapioca. I wouldn't give a half-hearted hootin' hattin' sack if I never saw it. What you got there?
This is the mail that came this morning. It's mostly just Christmas cards.
Let me see them.
You wouldn't be interested. They're just the same old Christmas malarkey.
What do you mean, malarkey? Don't you realize people have gone to a lot of time and trouble to... Was there any other mail?
Just a couple of bills. Incidentally, what's this item on the Bontown bill for one mama doll, $8.50?
Mama doll?
Now, listen, don't try to look so innocent. Not that I mind your playing with dolls, if they're made out of plaster. But you certainly didn't buy this one for me, did you?
No, I bought that for the little girl across the street.
Oh, I think that's very sweet.
It was not sweet. I'm giving it to the little pest as a bribe to stay out of my life.
Oh. It's strange how much she annoys you, isn't it?
I never saw such a little nuisance. Always butting in where she ain't wanted.
I know. You hate her so much that last year you gave her a $2 Valentine. You gave her a white rabbit for Easter.
Well, I...
Took her to the circus twice. Spent 3 days fixing her tricycle, and you did card tricks through her bedroom window when she had the mumps.
Well, that don't mean I like her, does it?
Doesn't it?
No. That was an old Valentine that had been kicking around here for years. I gave her that rabbit because I thought it would annoy her old man. I fixed her tricycle so she could go someplace else besides around here. And I took her to the circus because they always give kids better seats than they do grown-ups, and I was taking advantage of her helpless condition to practice my card tricks. And she never caught on. Thought I was doing it all for her.
Come off it, dear. You're not fooling anybody.
I ain't trying to fool anybody. All I'm saying is that Christmas has lost its meaning. It's got so people don't...
Come in.
Hello, Mom. Hiya, Skimp. Well, if it ain't Billy Mills, the poor man's Toscanini.
Hello, Mr. Mills.
Come on in, William, my boy. Hang your hat on a hickory limb and don't go near the piano. What's confusing with the music, kid?
Just stopped in to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Ah, Merry Christmas, blah. What's merry about it? Walk your wedgies off in the slush to find a lot of junk for a few mugs that won't appreciate it. Hanging a ton of gewgaws on a pine tree that look better in the woods. Scratch your hands all up on a handful of holly to hang in the window so you can stick yourself in the eye with it when you look out to watch the mailman breaking his back with a sack full of silly Christmas cards. Merry Christmas, blah.
And a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mills. The same to you. And don't pay any attention to McGee. You know, he goes through this act every year. He's got those don't wrap up that packet, Christmas is just a racket blues.
Don't worry, Mom. I can read him like a book.
What kind of a book?
He's a mystery. A very novel character.
Fine type, too, one of the lower cases.
Somebody ought to borrow him and not bring him back.
Maybe we could arrange with the Book of the Month Club to offer him as a special premium.
Oh, cut it out. Lay off, will you? Even if the rib was as prime as you think, this is a meatless day.
Ever play the bagpipes, Alfred?
And don't call me Alfred.
Okay, Joe. Ever play the bagpipes?
I don't think he ever did, Mr. Mills. Do you think he could?
Sure. Got a head start. Big bag of wind. All he needs is a flute. Well, gotta be gone. Merry Christmas again.
Well, the same to you, Oskaloosa Sousa. What's all the rush?
Oh, I gotta drop in and see my mother-in-law. She's AWOL.
Oh, you mean absent without leave?
No, a welder out at Lockheed.
Isn't he a wonderful band leader, McGee?
Band leader Mike Clavicle. I think all of them are just a bunch of fakers myself. You ever see a musician looking at the leader? No. They don't know whether he's beating out a march, a polka, a waltz, or just swatting flies.
Well, then what keeps them together?
That check at the end of the week. Confidentially, one of them guys told...
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Probably somebody else coming in to wish us a Merry Christmas when all they really want to see is if you ever got those new curtains for the dining room.
Well, I didn't, and the same to them. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Uh-oh. Now, this is all I needed today. Sis, why don't you take your little sled and go out on the pond in the park?
Oh, there isn't any ice on it, mister.
Yes, I know.
Hey, don't be like that. You were young once yourself, you know.
Well, I wasn't that young this long.
Be very tactful with him today, little girl. You know, his Christmas spirit is later than usual this year.
Well, doggone it, the whole thing is a very foolish arrangement.
Why, mister?
Why, the idea of having Christmas come right in the middle of the holidays. Right when everybody is their busiest. It's ridiculous.
Look, mister, I got business to see you about.
Oh, yeah?
Do you like to hear children sing Christmas carols?
Oh, sis, there's nothing I love more than to have a little group of childish voices stand outside my window and blat their melodious little brains. Particularly if I ain't home that night.
Oh, gee, mister, I got my whole gang outside, and they're awful anxious to sing you a Christmas carol, and I told them...
Well, I don't like to hear Christmas carols butchered by a bunch of kids. How can anybody sing good standing hip deep in a snowdrift with a muffler over their face, wondering how many fingers and toes they'll have left when they get home, if they ever do?
Oh, maybe you're still mad on account of last year. Are you, mister? Are you?
No, I'm not. That has nothing to do with it.
What's this? What happened last year that I don't know about?
Oh, nothing. She's
Well, us kids were going around singing Christmas carols.
Now, never mind, sis. That's ancient
And
history.
Mr. McGee came
Now,
out.
never mind now. Never mind. Give the kid a cookie, Molly. I imagine she's kind of hungry. Hey, sis?
Oh, gee, thanks, mister. Anyway, Mr. McGee came out while we were...
Sis, I told you nobody was interested. Now, let's just drop the whole subject. What kind of a cookie you want?
Any kind, thanks. And a glass of milk.
Well, I'll see if I can get it.
Now, listen, what happened with the Christmas carols, dear?
And Mr. McGee came running out of the house.
Now, you cut that out, sis.
And he wanted to sing with us, only when we heard him sing, we didn't want him to, and he followed us all over town. And, gee, we couldn't get rid of him, and he kept trying to sing, and people threw things at us, and all, it was awful. it fit just dandy. And he said, gee, kid, you're cute. How'd you like to be a princess? And she said, oh, boy, and write testimonials for cold cream. And they got married and lived happy ever after. You want to hear another one, Mr. Well, once upon a time...
No. That's enough, sis. Thanks anyway. You told me at least 14 of them.
Are you sure you don't want to hear any more?
I'm positive, sis.
Okay, then get off my lap.
Well, heavenly days, McGee. What are you trying to do, crush the child?
No, she wanted to pretend I was her little boy and tell me some stories. Now I know why they call them Grimm's fairy tales. That's the grimmest half hour I ever spent in my life.
Gee, I thought it was fun.
No, you did. Well, personally, I'd rather lie down with a good book under my head and go to sleep.
Can't you two think up any more games to play?
I bet you I don't want to be fun, I bet you.
What, sis?
Well, I could bring my little playmates in and we could sing you some Christmas carols. They must be pretty cold out there. But
I don't want to hear any Christmas carols. Christmas carols are beautiful music. And to hear your little mob of half-pint hepcats slaughter them would ruin my day.
Oh.
The very thought of those kindergarten contraltos drives me to drink. Get me some root beer, will you, Molly?
Yeah, me too. Hey, mister, let's play star, shall we?
How do you play that?
Well, first you give me, maybe about $3 and change, huh?
Give you $3? Hey, what is this? First you eat 2 dozen cookies, and then you want to borrow $3. You trying to put the bite on the hand that feeds you?
Oh, gee, it's lots of fun, mister. First we post a lot of ceiling prices.
I don't want to buy a ceiling. We got one.
This is different, mister. Us storekeepers have got to post ceiling prices so people won't have to pay too much for stuff, and it keeps the cost of living down a reasonable level, and the prices won't go pig wild.
Oh, hog wild.
You know your own habits best, mister. Anyway, we got to keep prices from getting out of hand for the merchandise that's getting scarce, so after the war we won't have inflation, you see.
Hey, aren't you getting a little out of your depth, sis? What do you know about economics?
Oh, my daddy told me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We had a little heart-to-heart talk last night, he and I.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he says I'm at the age where I ought to know certain things.
Oh, I see.
Like not paying 10 cents for a lollipop that's worth only 5 because then I'm bidding against somebody that can only pay 5 cents for a lollipop. Besides, spend an extra nickel, it ought to go toward a war bond, which will help pay for the war and give me a nest chicken afterwards.
You mean a nest egg?
By that time, it ought to be a chicken.
Well, be that as it may or may not be or not, sis, we won't play store. I got a better game.
What, mister?
Scoopy. Did you ever play Scoopy?
What on earth is Scoopy?
Oh, it's a wonderful game.
How do we play it, mister?
Well, it's like this. You run home, hide in the closet, and put your hands over your eyes and count up to 79 million.
Oh, and then what?
Now, by that time, we'll both be so old we'll have forgotten what we started out to play, which is the object of the whole game. Now, I'll get your hat and coat, and you...
Hello, folks. Merry Christmas. Oh, hello, little girl.
Hi, Mr. Wilcox. Hi. What did it?
I haven't got time to stop and talk. Just wanted to leave this little Christmas gift for Molly.
Well, heavenly days, Mr. Wilcox. You shouldn't have done
Oh, it isn't very much. And don't open it before Christmas. But I think it's something you'll like.
I got one for you, too, Junior, but it ain't wrapped up yet.
Oh, that's okay, pal, anytime. Remember, Molly, don't open that package before Christmas because I want you to be surprised.
I promise, Mr. Wilcox. My, it's wrapped beautifully.
I wrapped it myself, especially for you.
Shake it, Molly, and see if it rattles.
I bet you that wouldn't be fair, I bet you.
Of course it wouldn't. I want it to be a surprise. You just put it away till Christmas.
Oh, I think I'm going to love it, Mr. Wilcox.
I know you'll love it because millions of other housewives do because it's so easy to apply and shines as it dries. Your beautiful mirror-like polish in 20 minutes or less and saves hours of housework, to say nothing of eliminating old-fashioned floor scrubbing. And boy, what it does for the looks of your kitchen linoleum is amazing. But I won't say any more. I might give you a hint. Merry Christmas, all of you.
Hey, sis, ain't it about time your mother ought to be worrying about why you don't come home?
No.
Huh? Look, I've been very patient with you today. Now, why don't you do something for me?
Okay, mister.
Fine. Now, come back maybe tomorrow, and I'll have a surprise for you.
I got a surprise for you, too, mister. I got some little friends outside here waiting to sing your Christmas.
Doggone it. How many times I got to tell you I don't like kids singing Christmas carols? I don't want to hear any.
I'll get it, dearie.
Well, if it's this little girl's mother, Molly, tell her yes. She'll be right home, I hope.
79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Long distance. Yes, I'll hold the phone. Yes, Oh, is that you, Myrtle?
Hey. That's no fair.
How's every little thing, Myrtle?
Well, what is it?
It is, huh? Who, Myrtle? Your brother?
I hope it ain't funny.
Went fishing through the ice, huh? Well, isn't he the lucky one?
What'd he get, Molly?
The cherry out of his planter's punch. What'd you say, Myrtle? Yes, I'm ready. Hello? Well, for goodness sake, you're the last person in the world. What? Yes, he's fine.
Who is it? Who's
Oh, yes, indeed. We'd love to see you. Yes, do. And plan on having dinner with us.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, we'll be delighted. Well, thanks for calling, and we'll be expecting you next week.
Next?
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Gildersleeve?
I bet you I remember him, I bet you. He's the man who always laughs with his stomach.
Yeah. Speaking in the vernacular, we call that a belly
McGee.
laugh.
Never mind. Mr. Gildersleeve says he's coming to visit us next week, and he'll be here for dinner.
Boy, ain't it wonderful and strange what some guys will do to get an extra pat of butter these days. But I'll be kind of glad to see the old blimp at that.
Oh, dear. Come in.
Oh, gee, it's Mrs. Uppington. Hi, Miss Uppington.
Well, hello, little girl. And good afternoon, Mrs. McGee. And Mr. McGee.
Hello, Abigail.
Hi, Uppy. Won't you wiggle out of the minx and drape the frame on an orange crate for a spell?
Oh, thank you, no, Mr. McGee. I just dropped by to wish you both a very, very Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, Abigail. The same to you. And take that sour look off your face, McGee.
Well, doggone it,
I guess he doesn't like Christmas very much, Miss Uppington.
Well, is it my fault that Christmas ain't what it used to be? It's too commercial. My gosh.
Oh, McGee. He doesn't mean a word of it, Abigail. He's just an old softy who's afraid somebody will find out about it.
I've never known such a thing.
You are too, I bet you. You gave me $10 on account there's some little orphans in school who won't have any
You
Christmas.
keep out of this, sis.
Okay.
You don't have to hurry away, do you, Abigail? I was just going to make a pot of tea.
Oh, no, I can't stay, my dear. You know, I still have 2 days' work as Santa Claus at 14th and Oak Street. Oh, my, it's been such fun, really. Quite an experience.
That costume and the beard really fools them, eh, Uppy?
Oh, they really do, Mr. McGee. I've been a Santa Claus for 2 weeks now, and I've been given 23 cigars, 7 hot tips on the races, and business cards from 2 coffee leggers. Oh, well, it's been a rich experience. I feel younger every day. And as Mr. McGee will probably say after I leave, no one can stand it better than I. Well, Merry Christmas, all.
Are you really going to say that, mister?
No, and she might have given me a handful of them cigars people have been giving her.
Oh, McGee,
Well,
there's plenty of cigars in your humidor.
okay, but if she wasn't so stingy, she might have
Hey,
offered me.
why won't he let me and my friends sing a Christmas carol? Why won't he, Miss McGee?
Well, frankly, dearie, he'd love it. But he knows himself too well. When he hears those Christmas songs, he goes all mushy inside. Now, look, you pretend he's hurt your feelings and make believe you're going home.
Hey, I hope somebody gives me a box of cigars for Christmas because I only... Hey, what goes on here? What are you two whispering about?
She says I better go home, mister.
Huh?
She says you're mad at me because I want to have the kids sing a Christmas carol for me.
Oh, now, I ain't mad exactly, sis.
I
I
bet
just...
you are, I bet you.
Wow.
And gee, the kids have been out there in that cold all afternoon on account of
Now, none of that, sis. Now, cut it out. The only reason I didn't want them to sing is well, gee whiz.
Oh, it's okay, mister. I know how you feel. Thanks for the cookies and thanks.
Hey, don't rush away like this, sis. My gosh. I'll listen to your old Christmas carol if it means that much.
No.
I just thought...
No, you don't like them.
I do, too, like them. I only
You
thought...
don't either like them.
I do, too.
You don't.
I do so.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now, look, sis. Here. Take my handkerchief and
Thank
wipe your
you.
nose.
Thanks.
Now bring in your half-pint glee club and let them do their worst, which I imagine is pretty bad.
Oh, they're not bad. They're wonderful.
Okay, so they're terrific. Bring them in.
All righty. Hey, Kenny, Ratty, Johnny, Buddy, come on in.
My. Well, what handsome little fellas. Hello, boys.
Hello, Mrs. McGee.
What you gonna give us, kids?
The night before Christmas. And, gee, we rehearsed it like 60. Are you ready, kids?
No, I'm ready, sis. No, wait a minute. Hey, Molly.
What's the matter, McGee?
Here. Take my money and my watch. You know me. Every time I hear these things, I want to give away everything I own.
The night before Christmas and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
The children were nestled all snug in their wee little bed, while visions of sugar plums danced in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's
When out along there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash. Then, what to my wondering, I should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick that I knew right away that it must be St. Nick. All bundled in fur from his head to his foot, old Santa was covered with ashes and soot. I drew in my head and was turning around when down the chimney he came with a bow.
His eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke went around and around and around his head like a wreath. He was so chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, that I laughed and I laughed and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. He had a broad face, oh, ho, ho, and a little round belly, oh, ho, ho, that shook when he laughed, oh, ho, ho, like a bowl full of jelly. Oh, ho, he gave me a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, a chuckle and a smile I knew all the while I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings.
Oh, boy.
And turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team, gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the town of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove outside,
Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good
Oh, is it gone?
Is the night after Christmas and all through the house. Not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. The presents are scattered and broken, I fear, and St. Nicholas won't come again for a year. The children are nestled all warm in their wee little beds, while memories of sugar plums dance in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap are settled at last for a long winter's
Ladies and gentlemen, even while we wish you a Merry Christmas, we can't help thinking that in many parts of the world, the spirit of goodwill toward men has been made a shame and a mockery. But there'll be other Christmases. And to our men in uniform all over the world, we send our prayers and our thanks for what they are doing to restore faith and decency to our world. To them we say thank you and God bless you.
And we hope and pray that when next Christmas comes, there will really be peace on earth.
Good night.
Good night, all.